Welcome to the 93rd episode of the Nerdom and Other Nonsense anime podcast. Today, we'll be breaking down anime that aired during the 6th week of the spring 2019 season. Oh, shit. 6th week.
We're halfway there.
Oh, living on a prayer. Ooh. Oh, we're going to get taken down.
Yeah, probably. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Anyway, sorry for interrupting your intro.
It's true. But it was fun. Okay. Stay tuned for the end of the podcast when we'll discuss any mid-season cuts that we want to make. Oh, shit, guys. There's going to be a showdown, I think. As always, we include timestamps in the description of the YouTube video and the podcast feed. If you only want to hear about one or two specific shows, I mean, that's dumb, but that's your choice. As we spoil literally everything. My name is Kat, and...
Oh, that's not Kat. That's Nezuko from Demon Slayer. Nezuko.
It's such a weird...
This is the worst intro we've ever done.
They like just make muffled noises, and I'm like, "What the fuck do you want from me?"
Well, you know at the end of every like Demon Slayer episode, like they do a little skit where it's just Tanjiro and Nezuko, and like whenever she responds, she's like, and it's just the stupidest thing. So I was hoping for something like that.
Don't you know, Bcom, that Nezuko's real point in that series is to be seen and not heard.
Oh yeah, no, she's
like a proper woman should.
Her real point in that series is so the doujins will just write themselves. That's the whole point.
Right.
Oh boy,
she's God. Anyway,
I'm Leo.
How you guys doing? Oh, hey Leo, how you doing?
Fine.
What nonsense did you get up to this past week?
I got two things. One, I played a little bit of the Dauntless games, free to play. It's basically Monster Hunter, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, I heard about that game. Yeah.
It's it needs some work, but most games anymore when they first come out need to. And like I said, being free to play, you can't really complain too much. I guess it had a ton of server issues for like that first week. I never ran into that problem, so I guess I'm just the lucky one.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but I mean, if you'd like Monster Hunter, then it's probably a game you should check out. It's on everything. It's cross-play, so that's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yep. I also watched Godzilla King of Monsters.
Ooh. How was that?
Okay, so like I went to this movie for the monster fights, which is exactly what I got. So that's great. Screw this story. It's not that important. But it was just so funny to me because it's probably the blurriest movie I have ever watched. So
I didn't actually notice that because I also watched this.
Oh my
god!
No! Oh, I noticed it right off the bat and could not stop seeing it. So every single monster that is on screen is being shrouded by something or slightly hidden behind something like that. So just off the top of my memory, and I'm sure I forgot a couple of the things they used to like hide them. Like we've talked about this before. Like in movies, they'll do like a scene at night in the dark with the rain, just so you don't get to see the animation too well.
Yeah.
Like a fight scene or something. But I think they just did it here, so the monsters stayed more realistic looking and you weren't just like, whoa, that's a CGI monster. So these were the things. So rain, snow, underwater.
There was a lot of fucking rain. God. I was really tired of that.
Underwater, smoke, ash, fire, dirt, buildings, explosion, light, and darkness. I'm pretty sure there was a hazy afternoon at one point. There was a waterfall, ice, lightning, clouds, and a fucking hurricane and lava. All of these things were used to slightly like put them behind a screen of some sort, so you never get to see them truly.
As someone who does not like action sequences that much, I was dragged to this movie. I did not have that much fun. I think the most fun I had was, first of all, Mothra was kind of cool because it was very pretty.
Yeah. The queen of the monsters.
And then second of all, the memes after the Godzilla movie were hilarious because I got to barb my boyfriend with them for like days. So
I guess we know who dragged you to it now.
I had to be like, look how stupid the movie you made us watch was. Look. But there's like one in particular that I saw that I just loved. And it was like, there's a particular scene where Godzilla's under the ocean. And he's like, has his head up and he's like spewing that weird blue shit that comes out of his mouth like a nuclear reactor.
His mouth Kamehameha.
Yeah, and it's like, and they did like a math equation, and they're like, if this was real, like Godzilla would be X amount taller than like than da 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 da. That doesn't make any sense. And they're like, how would he get that high without being like that tall? And then they're like, elevator shoes. Was he on top of a nimbus cloud? A friendly whale?
Oh God!
It's like different
A friendly whale.
I like the whale option.
I'm pretty sure he'd crush any whale that tried to have him on his back. Can you imagine?
It was Moby Dick.
What if he has a whale for each foot?
Oh my God!
That would be so weird.
He would truly be the king of monsters then.
He's like, hey, Mothra, what do you think about my whale shoes?
Also, how is he having sex with Mothra? How is Godzilla
Wait, what?
fucking Mothra?
Is this something that happened in this movie?
It's
No, but they're
thought
a couple.
upon in the movie, like, whoa, are they getting it on? How are they doing that? That gets brought up in the movie.
How is that physically possible? You tell me. There would be like, have you ever squished a moth?
Yeah.
So you know that like weird dust that happens when you... Can you imagine after they get
Kat,
done fucking?
You have Google, just search for Godzilla Mothra Dojin, and you'll find it.
Moth lizard porn.
Doesn't
I'm not watching it.
Doesn't Godzilla like breathe fire in this movie?
He's got a
And
blue
you know what they say
beam.
about a moth being attracted
In
to the
flames?
flames? Oh my God, match made in heaven.
Also, wouldn't his jizz be like so radioactive it would just destroy everything?
I mean, Mothra could probably take it.
probably
though,
Mothra.
you would say.
Anyway, this is the rabbit holes that I subjected him to for dragging me to this.
Jesus.
I feel I gave what I got.
So eventually, I bet you'll probably go see it, Bcom. And when you do that, tell me how many scenes you see a monster and there's not something shrouding them in some way.
It's going to be like a personal challenge of mine to see if I can find something you didn't list. Like, what did you have, like a notepad in the theater? You wrote all these things down?
I got home and I'm like, I want to rant about this. So I just opened our Google Doc and just started typing in everything I could remember. And then like I'd go away and then something else would pop in my head. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to type that down too.
Oh my God.
But
I got really tired of the dumb 3-headed dragon bullshit
Ghidorah.
thing.
Ghidorah.
And they're going to just bring it back again.
Why do you say that?
Dun, dun, dun.
Because of the ending credits scene where they're like, we found the head of it. What could we do with this?
What?
Mecha
Of course
Ghidorah.
they're going to of course they're going to do some shit like
I missed that part.
And you're like,
Was that
that's
like
stupid.
in the credits or something?
Probably, yeah.
You didn't wait for the after credit scene because you weren't trained by Marvel fans.
I didn't know I had an
That's
after
what
credit
happened.
scene. Yeah, the next step would be Mecha Ghidorah because he's the next thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I have no idea about any of the timeline here. I'm just annoyed that I'm going to have to watch another one
Back
of these
in
fucking dragon
Elementary
things.
school, I checked out all these books in our library, so I have like a kind of a old memory of shit. So like, yeah, I know Mecha Ghidorah would be the next one.
So while you guys are watching Godzilla, I've been watching a lot of anime lately.
No way.
Even like outside of the podcast. And
Really?
the thing about a lot of anime is it's really shittily written garbage.
Pretty much.
So sometimes I like to recharge by watching actually good television. And so I finally went back, like when the first season had come out of The Americans, I watched it at the time. And then I was like, damn, this is really good, but I actually kind of really want to binge this, like, whenever it's over. And so many years later, I decided, hey, like a couple weeks ago, I'm going to start just binging through this. And so I binged through, like, all 6 seasons of it on Amazon over, like, the past 2 weeks. And, man, that show is really, really good. It's really well written. If you don't know it, it's about, like, 2 Russians who get sent over, like, in their early 20s. To become embedded spies in the United States during like the 70s and 80s during the Cold War. And so they have to basically appear to be a normal American family. They have kids here who don't know that they're Russian spies.
Are they sleeper agents?
How bad would that fuck you up?
Yeah.
If you're just a normal kid And then one day your parents are like, yeah, we were secret agents and now we have to go back to Russia.
Let me tell you that they explore that question very much. Oh, man, it's crazy. And I think every season of it is pretty good, except for season 5, which was like sort of slower. It lost a bit of steam in that season, but it still had some really good moments. It was more like the characters who were the spies were starting to fall out of love with what they did and realizing they kind of wanted to get out of it. And then so season 6, the finale season, deals with that. And the final episode of the show is really kind of like understated, but like emotionally crushing at certain moments. It's one of the better finales I've seen for a TV show. It was really good. So I recommend checking that out if you haven't. It's really, really fun.
Okay.
Anything else you got up to, Kat?
Ooh, so I watched Chernobyl, the HBO mini-series or whatever the fuck. So there's one more episode that's going to come out, and I'm, like, psyched. Because, like, all the other ones show the aftermath. Because the whole series, and I'm going to spoil a lot of what happens, I feel like. But the whole series isn't really about, like, what happens. It's just about, like, the holy fuckness of it. Yeah. Because you kind of know already. So it's really
People are fairly familiar with Chernobyl, but even I had watched like the first episode, and that's all I've watched. Even that, like, there were certain things about like how things went down that I just didn't know.
Like the guy, like so apparently before this, they had no like reference. They did not think that a nuclear reactor could explode. Yeah. They thought it could overheat or whatever, but they're like, oh, it isn't possible for it to explode. Yeah. It couldn't happen. And so when it actually did, like, the guy in charge, all these workers would come up and be like, it's exploded. There's graphite on the ground, which apparently there's only graphite in the core. Yeah. And the guy would just be like, you're confused. It can't have exploded, so therefore it hasn't happened.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Which is the equivalent of, like, someone being like, there's fire raining from the sky, and someone being like, that can't happen. It's not occurring, like, as fire just rains down around them. Like,
it's like that dog sitting in the room with the fire, and it's just like, this is fine.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like, it's insane, and I don't know, some of the things that they did to contain it, like in the later episodes, you find out there's 3 levels that they have to clear all of the graphite and radioactive material off of in order to, like, at least reduce the radiation, because it keeps, like, basically emitting, which I had no idea it was this bad, emitting enough radiation every day as, like, 2 Hiroshimas.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's supposed to, like, double every day. Something crazy.
Yeah, so like every single day that thing wasn't cleaned up, it was like 2 Hiroshima's worth of radiation. Wow. And so they had to clean it up. And at first they were like, well, we can send these robots that they used in the moon landing to clean up. So they did that for the first 2 levels, but then the 3rd level was so strong because it gets like more and more concentrated as you go down that it wouldn't even work. Like, no electronics would work.
The robot broke down, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it would just stop. And they couldn't use, like, flashlights, because at one point at the beginning, they had to send 3 people in, basically to die, because it was so radioactive, so they could, like, turn some valve. And they went in, and their flashlights just stopped working. And they're like, fuck! And it's insane. And so what they did is, because it was such a huge cleanup job, they calculated that if a person was on there for 2 minutes, it would reduce their lifespan. It would cut their lifespan in half.
Jesus.
So because they had no choice, they just sent like thousands and thousands and thousands of people in for 2 minutes each.
Oh my God.
So I don't remember how many, it was in the tens of thousands of people.
Just to clean up all this stuff?
Just to clean up that 3rd level, especially. Man. And they would just send them in, and they would have a timer, and they would go, and they would have to run back. And their lifespan would be cut in half. So those people would only live to be like 35.
Man.
And they did that thousands and like tens of thousands of times.
Do these people who were sent in, did they know that their lifespan was going to be cut in half?
I don't think they told them all of it. I think they told them like that it was dangerous, but I don't think they were telling them the extent to what was going to happen to them.
I can hear that, whatever that is.
Oh, it's my rice cooker going off.
Oh, is that like Soji Rushi? Yeah, I recognize that.
Yeah, it makes the dumb noise. Sorry about that. But yeah, and I was just like, holy shit, imagine finding out like, oh yeah, you're only going to live to be 35.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst. Oh,
like,
my God.
shit.
I guess it had to be done, though. There was no other way to get it done, and it would have just kept seeping out. So
yeah, and then there's this one lady, they just kept following this pregnant bitch, and I got really pissed off at her because her husband like was in the disaster, and so he's terribly irradiated, and they show you like how bad off he is, and all the nurses keep telling this bitch, don't touch him, don't go near him, because like he's irradiated and you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And she just keeps fucking doing it.
Wow.
Well, I imagine she didn't really know like how bad, but like still, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and it had horrible consequences for the baby. And
Oh, boy.
show you, and you're like, no.
Oh, God. Well, that's an uplifting, exciting series to watch.
But I will tell you, I usually cannot binge series because I just can't do it. This one I binged all in a day, so you know it's fucking good, even if it's terrible.
I think it's because you just like seeing people
I was
suffer.
going to say, I think it was all the death and destruction. I was pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah, it seems
might be
your
part of
kind
it.
of thing, yeah.
If you like horror movies, you will like this. It's very similar to that feel of like, the whole time.
For sure. It's pretty oppressive. All right, let's move on to actual anime. We gotta...
Wait, 2 more minutes and we
halfway.
can have a 20-minute intro.
No, we're not doing that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck it. They loved every second of it. Let's not even lie.
Absolutely. Okay, so Fruits Baskets, episode 6, Kat. Where are we at with this?
Okay, episode 6. Perhaps we should invite ourselves over.
That's what a psychopath
So-
does.
Or just a very forceful person. I don't know.
They're concerned friends. That's all they were.
Yeah. So yeah, the school festival starts. And somehow the students are able to convince Yuki to reluctantly cross-dress. And I put that in quotes because, like, if you're gonna cross-dress, there's something in it for you. No man on the planet has been like, I really don't want to dress as a woman, but I guess because people want it so much, I'll do it. Like, come on.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like that kind of person. But
Right?
for whatever reason, he goes with it.
Maybe
For,
Tohru asked him very nicely.
It's still, I just feel like it's not in character for Yuki. He's I don't know. It was weird to me that he ever did that.
He does look over at Tohru to see like how she's reacting to him, and she's like, "Oh, he's so cute." So,
Well, it's because, yeah. But yeah, then Moiji. I always have trouble with his name because I want to say Momiji.
that is how you say it, Momiji.
But it looks like Moiji.
No, it doesn't. There's an M.
It says Momiji.
But anyway, Momiji comes to the festival with Hattori in order to check on Yuki at Akito's request. And Akito's like the shadowy dude for like new watchers of Fruits Basket
Yeah.
that they show like in the background who runs everything. And Akito's really interested in Yuki. So even though Yuki like tried to run the fuck away as much as he could, like they're not letting him get away that easy, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then Momiji intentionally hugs Tohru during the festival in order to change into a rabbit so he can show her what he is. And I mean, he has to have grown up just in the Soma compound exclusively or something. Like to think that was okay.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It's just
I mean,
his personality, maybe, even though,
I don't know, because like even if it's your personality to be carefree, I feel like you understand that causing a global panic over changing into a rabbit in a public place is probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it has to be that he's so used to just only being in a place where everyone knows about what he is, and so he doesn't think about it. In any case, it was a bad thing. They cover for him, but barely.
Yeah.
And then they all go up on the roof, and Hattori takes a picture of Yuki and Kyo, just so he can show Akito, I guess, and he leaves. And this just makes Yuki more embarrassed that he was caught in the act of cross-dressing. And there's, like, proof on film, which I feel like is, like, a weird porn somewhere. Oh, shit, my cat is destroying everything. Stop. Get the fuck off me.
Being a cat.
You're so tangled. He's, like, tangled in all of the wires, and he just, like, is determined to make, like, a spaghetti fork out of his legs.
Oh, boy.
Made out of computer wires. Shit. Stop it. Okay, anyway. Yuki warns Tohru on the roof once Hattori leaves to never be alone with him because he can erase her memories, and he may be asked to do so, at one point. And so, of course, later in the same fucking episode, he calls and is like, "You want to be alone with me?" And she's like, "Sure."
Tohru.
I'm just like, "You're so fucking stupid." Oh.
Toru's never seen a situation she couldn't get out of by just being kinder to everyone. So
she's just a dumb cunt. Let's be honest.
No,
Bcom.
She's a wonderful human being.
No, she has no brain. Like who is told by someone, you have to be really careful about this person. He's very dangerous. Never be alone with him. And then this guy calls you, just like, "So you want to be alone with me?" And she's like, "Yeah,
but
let's do it."
Everyone is naturally good on the inside, especially if you're just nice to them and connect with them, Kat.
See, I love Fruits Basket. It pushes all of my nostalgia buttons, but I always hated fucking Tohru so much because she's such a dumb bitch. Anyway.
If only you guys could see my face right now.
So, Arisa and Hana are getting suspicious of how close Tohru is to Yuki and Kyo. And they kind of confront her, like, "What's up? What's going on? You dating him?" And Tohru kind of lets it slip that she's, in fact, living with him. And them, I should say. And they immediately demand to spend the night at her house. Like, "We're going to see how this is."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sweet, but also a little confrontational. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
We're not asking if we can come over. We're demanding it.
Well, that's the kind of people
there.
they are. Yeah.
Yep.
Especially
Yeah.
Arisa.
And Tohru being a pushover,
Yeah.
Yeah. So the sleepover is very heartwarming and cutesy. And it's designed to invoke, like, all the soft, fuzzy feelings. Hana and Arisa see that Yuki and Kyo care a lot about her. They understand that Tohru doesn't ask much for herself. And they repeat that, like, 5 times in this episode. Like, so many people are like, "Tohru doesn't ask much for herself." And I'm like, we get it. You said it. We know. You don't need to say it 5 times. And they decide it's not a bad environment. It's all cute. And then later, when they're going to bed, the two ask Tohru why she still has this, like, old baseball cap or something.
This was the moment, like, you get the first glimpse of this kid. You're just like, it's fucking Yuki, okay? Let's just stop this now. We've all seen this 100 times in anime, okay?
I also thought it was Yuki, but who knows?
Well, okay, it could be Yuki or it could be Kyo. It's a shadowed figure.
Yeah.
It's Yuki's haircut so much, though.
It's the thing they do in every harem show where they're like, because you met this mysterious person when you were 5, you have to marry them if you ever meet them again, because apparently that's the way the universe
what just
works.
Aired the quintessential
Yeah, they did the same thing in that. They did the same thing.
And I feel like Nisekoi kind of killed this trope because, like, they did it and then they overdid it, like, as a means of just, like, poking fun at how stupid it is. And I think that, like, after Nisekoi going back to the well with this, like, I met him as a child, and now I love him. And that trope is just dead. Like, you can't do it anymore.
So I'm imagining that in Japan, if you come across someone and you both determine you met as children, like a siren goes off and police officers run from buildings and like cuff you together and are like, you have to be married now. Like, is that what happens in Japan? Where the fuck is this coming from? Well, they gotta make
babies somehow. I mean, they're getting desperate over there.
That's true.
It's just ridiculous. Oh my god. But yeah, so they do this bullshit where Tohru, was young or whatever, and she was lost, and someone helped her home and gave her the cap. And they shadow the person out so you don't know who the fuck it is. And, like, they show Kyo listening from afar, and that's why I say I think it's Kyo, because, I mean, Yuki's not even in the room. But it could be either of them.
Yeah. So the scene that I, like, latched onto into this episode was, like, when Yuki's up on the roof, and he's, like, really upset about having to wear women's clothing and being called cute. And, like, Tohru basically calms him down, or tries to calm him down by explaining that she thinks being called cute is just an expression of love or affection, which is like, yeah, of course, that's what cute means. But I think that was, like, a really overly simplistic view of, like, why cross-dressing is so often a theme in rom-com anime. Like, it's just so consistent that I think there's, like, more going on there, and that there's, like, something a bit deeper that, like, sparks happiness in people's heads when they see their favorite characters cross-dressing as, like, a woman or a man. And, like, what Toru's explanation to Yuki just came off as, like, really, like, surface level. And I kind of wish
naive.
Naive. I wish she had talked to him more about, like, being comfortable with his sexuality, despite the way he chooses to dress no matter what, because, like, he's clearly, like, very uncomfortable about his masculinity in this situation. And, like, the way she addressed it just didn't seem like something that made any sense to me. But
I mean, I guess I see with the comment from last episode where the guy was like, "You're a boy," or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that puts it in more context. But you are forgetting Bcom. That's Tohru in a nutshell as a character.
Yeah, it's true.
Shallow and naive. For
sure. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, so that scene didn't, like, work so well for me. But I did like, where was it? It was like when Saki and the Arisa are deciding to go over to Toru's house, but then they're like, maybe we shouldn't go yet, because if we go at the spur of the moment, they won't have snacks ready for us. And I was like, oh, I like these people. I can identify with this. So, yeah. Anything else before we move on?
Yeah, there's the part where Hattori is just, like, giving out fucking Yuki's
patient history.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, doctor and patient discretion here, dude. What the fuck?
That was pretty messed up. Like, in front of his entire class. Yeah, he's like, well,
you can't do that, dude. That's fucked up. But yeah, that was it. That's what I took away from the episode.
That was a breach of confidence for sure.
I'm sorry, I got sidetracked by looking up Godzilla memes. Do the cat talking about that.
We'll have to add them to the Discord, like a whole thing.
Well, I threw in one while you were chatting. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I thought it was.
I did see that.
Because I saw it on my Twitter feed. I'm like, she talks about it, and then poof, it's on the Twitter feed. What the fuck?
All right,
next one.
Yeah, JoJo. Let's go.
Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5. Episode 30, Green Day and Oasis Part 1. I changed the title, so it made sense.
Yeah, the Crunchyroll title is so weird.
Green Tea and Sanctuary? No.
Yeah, Sanctuary as opposed to Oasis is a weird one.
It starts off with, like, us learning a little bit about the relationship between Chocolata and Seko. The best way I can describe it is it's kind of like how Kat is with her gimp. I mean, that's pretty accurate. Gives him treats when he's a good boy, and, very aggressive head pats.
Oh, God. The look on that weird guy's face when he's going, yosh. I'm like, he wants to die. He wants to die in this moment.
But anyways, Chocolata sends Seko and his stand Oasis to attack Bruno and his team. Inside the turtle, Narantia is recovering, and Trish is mad because Bruno acts so cold to everybody. But she wants that D. We know what's going on. Narantia guesses she just wanted him to ask her if she was okay because she might have feelings for him. Yeah. They decide they need to get a car and get the heck out of the village. Bruno sends Mista up the staircase, and he stays behind to guard the rear. But he kicks a beer can down the steps, and when it lands at the bottom, it doesn't make any sound. He's like, what? So then he kicks another one that does the same, and then I'm like, if people get brains, because then they're like, oh, shit. Fucked up shit's happening. There's probably a stand here. So they know it's another stand, and like start rushing to the top of the whole staircase as it like starts to sink into the ground. And it's like, so it's bringing them down, which would trigger Green Day to kill them. So turns out Seko that his suit, that's his stand. Bleh. And so like that's why he's able to move freely through solid objects and like make things sink into the ground. The combo between these two stands is no joke. They work very well together. Unfortunately for Kat, they're not sexy enough for her. Like that other couple.
Okay, like these fuckers are weird.
They are very weird.
These are some of the weirdest fucking villains I've ever seen. I want the sexy gay couple villains back. The guy with the long hair that's like a god.
I feel like
where
they were
the fuck did he go?
Tiziano, yeah, he was fun, and Squalo.
Yeah.
It's too bad. They're gone.
It is too bad.
Yeah, so he's sinking the stairs and everything else. And Mista manages to like shoot a sign over and hoist him and Bruno up into the parking lot. And up there, they find a dead man and his car keys in his hand, which was kind of the plan the whole time. Mm-hmm. They run across the parking lot as the ground like starts to sink them in. And Mista decides he is going to try and shoot the stand as it pulls him under. It goes to grab him. He first fires 3 bullets that ricochet off the hard pavement, and he waits to be pulled under. As soon as he starts to go down, he shoots at the stand user, who reflects it right back at Mista. This is just Ice Guy all over again, if you asked me. But the 3 bullets that Mista shot earlier curve back and try to hit Oasis, but he's too quick and disappears back underground and then he starts going after Bruno. So Oasis is a very melee type and super, super fast, like one of the very fast stands, it seems.
Yeah.
Bruno then leaves the turtle on top of the car and like runs to a ledge and jumps over. And then like as he's like falling down the sides, Seko has to stick his head out of the wall to see where he is, and Bruno like then uses his stand to just punch that absolute shit out of him. It's basically the first or we've gotten so far for this one, so it was pretty cool. Yeah. So after getting a shit punched out of him, Seko retreats back into the wall and calls Chocolato, I don't care how I say it anymore, to ask if Notorious, because he's almost sounds like he's going on this rant, but he's going somewhere with this. He asked if the Notorious B.I.G. was alive or dead, and if his mold would grow on him. Chocolato doesn't know, and Seko is asking because for some reason no mold would grow on Bruno when he jumped down the ledge. Then they suddenly see a car leaving the village and are kind of worried about what happened. How did he survive that? What? Kat, you had a little going on there. What's going on?
I'm really pissed about this next part.
Oh,
That's
really?
why.
Really?
Interesting.
Okay. In the car, Mista's surprised Bruno survived and asked if he hung onto the wall or something. Bruno just stays like very and ominously quiet. And Giorno's like, hey, you just take a nap there, Mista. After a moment, Giorno notices there's like basically just a rather large chunk of flesh missing from Bruno's wrist. And, like Bruno looks at it and says he might not have much time left because he can barely feel anything left in his body anymore. He's like he's losing all feelings or something. But then Giorno also checks his cold skin and like finds no pulse. Which we pretty much thought of back when it happened. Yeah. They deduced that Gold experience must have only given him some life when he maybe died saving Trish from the boss in Venice. Remember, we were like, yeah, because there was a weird thing going on between Gold
King
experience.
Crimson.
Well, we thought that he was like some kind of zombie, but we didn't know what exactly was going on.
We thought it was
like
something between King Crimson and Gold experiences, both abilities activating at the same time, which put Bruno in some type of weird limbo.
Yeah, like the time where his body died was erased, so maybe he doesn't remember having died, and then Gold experience like sort of gave him some life, something like that.
Yeah. It still makes more sense than how the arrow works.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but they don't explain it that well.
No.
They're
no.
like, yeah, I'm a zombie.
Well,
thing,
because they don't
kinda.
know.
And they don't.
They don't know the answer
they don't
themselves.
really explain it. I demand. Okay, this has been going on for a long fucking time now. And if they're gonna bring it up, I demand more of an explanation than this bullshit.
But we won't be able to get a real explanation until they get back to King Crimson. And he's the only one who could probably
Piece it together.
Maybe explain it? Yeah, I think.
I'm like, you don't get to just bring it up and be like, oh yeah, like, I'm kind of a zombie, and then move on.
Well,
No!
they move on because suddenly a helicopter comes flying over them and drops a spore-infested body on the car. To me, that's a pretty good conversation stopper.
Okay, but also, this whole scene, there's fucking people dying all over Rome. It's like a zombie apocalypse is occurring. I don't see any SWAT teams. I don't see people rushing into the city. You know that people would be all over the place if something like this was happening in this huge city like Rome.
Romans are pretty laid back, you know. I mean, they're probably just enjoying some pizza, some pasta alla micidiana, you know, a little vino in their villas, and they're fine.
They're all just like, oh yeah, people are dying.
You don't have time to dial the
how about
phone
that
when your body's
wine?
melting. I mean, come on.
I mean, you know some shit would be going down. People would be freaking out.
Nobody would honestly really know unless they were Skyping with somebody else and they're like, why are you melting?
I guarantee somebody would be Skyping or with technology the way it is.
Ooh, what?
People
wait,
would
what?
know.
Ooh, do we know what time period this was set in?
I
I feel like I should know
actually.
this.
Yeah.
That might explain it a little bit. But anyways, the car crashes, they get out safely, and then the spores are now just raining down on Rome and killing tons of people. Mista tries to shoot the helicopter, but Seko like deflects the bullets because we know he can. It then drops to the ground and like starts going towards them. And the helicopter is actually getting too far away to shoot, and Giorno tells Mista to try anyways and like helps him fire the gun. The bullets careen into like the side of a building, and basically Giorno used his abilities to turn the bullets into like a tree. So this tree grows out and grabs the helicopter, and then Mista and Giorno go to like take the car, get out of the car, and they go up to the helicopter, and Bruno stays behind to deal with Seko. So that's how that episode ends.
Yep.
I like.
the hand on the hip scene. Are we going to talk about it?
Sure, yeah.
Which part was that? I don't remember it.
This is the very end. It's like the sexy. Like Giorno goes up to, isn't it Mista?
I think so. Yes.
And he's like, "Yeah, let me just slide my hand just down onto the curve of your hip and just pull you so close so that we can shoot this together."
Oh yeah, I guess that did happen.
Yeah, I can see why Leo didn't notice that as much as Kat did.
Kat probably rewatched it a couple times.
I did.
See?
I really liked. There was one moment earlier in the episode where Chocolata is just like flinging these sugar cubes at Seko, who's like catching them, and like it just reminded me of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, where she's like flicking the sugar cubes at Kana or whatever, and she's like nomming on them. That like that gif got passed around forever that season. This is a similar, very similar thing happening. Yeah. And that's. I had a horrible joke about Oasis and Wonderwall, but let's just skip that for everybody's sake.
Yes,
I think.
I wrote cringe in there. I'm like, no, don't do that.
It's like when his head was sticking through that wall, I was like, oh, it's a Wonderwall.
No.
Anyway, let's move on. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, episode 6, Swordsman accompanying a demon. So, Tanjiro has an official Demon Slayer Corps uniform now. It even says destroy on the back of it in this black shirt. Nezuko is so impressed she even peeks out from under her sleeping bag. Oh my god, she's so cute. Hiroko Daki explains that the uniform is specially made so it repels water, fire, and low-level demons are going to have like trouble clawing through it, so it's pretty tough. And the swords, the Nichiren swords, come in different colors. But the black sword that Tanjiro obtained is rare, so not much is known about its properties, but it's thought that people with black swords will never really amount to much. Mostly because, like, the people who've had black swords in the past, I guess, haven't made much of themselves. So it's a bad omen.
And I don't think they ever made it really far because they didn't know how to use the black swords properly.
Probably, yeah. That would make sense.
I mean, how would you feel, though, if you're just given this thing and then you're like, well, you're probably doomed now.
It's like, sorry, but you're actually shit tier. Sorry to tell you this, but you suck.
Yeah.
It's like a terrible weapon drop in, like, Destiny or something. It's just like, oh, damn
but
it.
no take backsies. You're kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
So. But wait, is it like the color it turns like a reflection of your inner soul or some bullshit? So imagine being told, yeah, your soul is shit tier.
Your soul is black and dark and an endless void of nothingness. So yeah, we'll find out. I'm sure he's going to be one of the first black swordsmen to do very well. So, but yeah, finally, Orokodaki made a backpack for Tanjiro out of this really light wood, so that he can carry Nezuko around wherever they go inside his little box. And so Orokodaki pats Tanjiro on the shoulders and like sends him on his way. And he heads to a town to the northwest, and he immediately runs into this like haggard-looking man on the street whose name was Kazumi. And Tanjiro kind of overhears these girls he overhears a conversation that these girls have been abducted at night recently. And he asks Kazumi, like, hey, tell me your story. What's going on? And so his wife, Satoko, was taken. And
Isn't his fiance?
Possibly. It might be fiance. I thought it was wife.
Yeah, because it shows they're walking. I guess he was walking her home to her parents' house.
Uh-huh.
And it just shows like her parents being like, how could you have had this happen?
Yeah. And so like Tanjiro like is barely able to sort of sniff out the scent of the demons who he thinks are responsible. And yeah, like Kazumi's face is all bruised, and it's because like the fiance's like parents like beat the crap out of him for like letting this happen.
Why do you think they were engaged? To me, they just like two young couple who just like went on a date, or he was escorting her from basket weaving class or something.
This is the Taisho period. If you want to like hold hands with a girl, you're gonna fucking marry her.
Well, yeah, I thought they were actually married already, though, but I don't know. I'm deferring to Kat because my memory's not so great. So I'm
pretty sure it's just because like that's the way marriage worked back in the day. It was like, oh, you want to date her? Well, you have to marry her first,
yeah,
and hope it works out. And fuck if it doesn't, because you're stuck now.
Yeah, for pretty much. So yeah,
aren't you glad that that's not the way it is anymore?
Yeah. Tanjiro sniffs around town like a little bloodhound, and he detects like a new scent. And so we see a young woman being followed around her Japanese-style house by a black puddle on the ground that like moves behind her along the floor. And she like climbs into bed, and in like a horror movie, the puddle like expands underneath her bed, and then like demon hands like reach out from either side of her pillow and grab her face and like pull her below the surface, which is pretty scary. And so at this moment, the scent of the demon strengthens, and Tanjiro starts running towards it. And Tanjiro can also apparently jump like 50 feet in the air now, which is like, I guess he trained a lot, but it paid off more than I thought. He's like, Jesus.
He could split a boulder, might as well.
I guess. And so he unsheathes his sword, and we actually get like this first-person POV shot of him looking along the street for any sign of the demon. And I actually thought, like, for once, a POV shot kind of worked well and wasn't completely out of place, like in like Promised Neverland or something.
Woo. Those were some bad ones in that show.
Yeah. And so he ends up stabbing the ground where the scent is really strong, and the girl who was taken, like, he gets like a piece of her like her shirt or whatever, and like she floats to the surface, and he's able to take her from the startled demon. And so Orokodaki had warned Tanjiro that demons like this one use a spell called Blood Demon Art. And so Tanjiro tries to ask this like morphed demon, he calls it, for the whereabouts of the other vanished girls. But like, oh my god, the demon just makes the most annoying fucking sound ever, grinding its teeth together. It is like, tell me you guys didn't like take your headphones off when the sound started.
I was like, please someone kill that one first, so we don't have to listen to it
It's
anymore.
So annoying. They really went like far with like the sound design on that one.
Well, and also, okay, so like, correct me if I'm wrong, these are like weird offshoots of his personality.
Of who?
Right?
Tanjiro's personality?
No, the demon.
No, of the original.
Oh, yeah,
demon.
yeah. No, they're like, it's a demon that has been split into like 3 sections, yeah.
And like its
so it's
personality has been divided 3 ways also.
Exactly.
Yeah, what the fuck happened to this dude? That's an offshoot of his fucking personality.
He is a demon.
I mean, Jesus Christ, what happened in that kid's upbringing before he turned into a demon?
A dental appointment gone very wrong.
Oh God!
I just got
Some
back from
braces
the
that didn't get.
I just got back from the dentist today. That's awesome.
I should go to the dentist. I haven't been in a while.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do. Everybody, go to your dentist. He'll take care of your teeth, or she will.
Or she will. Yeah.
And so, God, yeah, the demon like goes back underground, and Tanjiro and Kazumi hold this unconscious girl, or Tanjiro has Kazumi, the guy, hold this unconscious girl. He's like, hey, here's a girl for you. It's like, sorry about your wife, but this one's pretty good.
How about this one? She's pretty hot. You know?
What's she doing?
She's same age. Like.
So Tanjiro like sniffs out the demon, but he's surprised when like 3 of them rise to the surface, and he has to jump. And he like changes in midair using like a different water breathing form called the waterfall basin, which is pretty cool looking. Also, the soundtrack blasts this like heroic French horn heavy theme at this moment, which is like pretty fucking awesome. I'm really getting into the soundtrack of this show. I like it.
I'm gonna have to pay more attention to it.
Yeah. So he manages to cut off this demon's arms. And then we flash back to Orokodaki explaining to Tanjiro that there is only one demon in the world that has the power to turn humans into demons. So this demon was like the first ever and was born over 1,000 years ago, and its name is Muzan Kibutsuji.
Which also tells you that this is the guy that attacked his family.
Exactly. So that's like going to be the ultimate big bad, probably.
But like, how? I guess it makes sense because otherwise there'd be so many demons everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like,
why is he the only one? Yeah.
Why would he continue to make more and more? Because it's just going to make it more conspicuous.
Maybe he wants demons to take over the world. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe it's something the show would tell us later on.
Probably.
Also, but I'm wondering in my head. I can't just wonder.
It's funny. Oh, yeah, it's true. I wonder, too. And I wondered about his silhouette, because his silhouette looks like, I don't know, like Michael Jackson or something, or like Edmond Dantes from Fate Grand Order, like with that hat and everything. So I'm curious.
He looks like he's going to start moonwalking. Yeah.
So back in real time, Tanjiro continues to slice up these demons, but his attacks are like too shallow. And one of the demons stops like a short distance away and yells for Tanjiro to back off. And he says, like, the girl Kazumi's holding, she's 16 years old already. She's getting, like, way over the hill. I'm doing you a favor killing this old bitch.
I think he's like, she's going to get stale. And I'm like, holy shit. So have you guys heard the Japanese saying, like, women are Christmas cakes?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is, like, taking that to a whole new level.
Like post 25 Christmas cake.
Yeah. So it, the 25th is Christmas. So the joke is like, women over 25, like they're getting stale. You can't, too old.
Which is
but like
so
Jesus, you're taking a whole decade off that at this point. Like,
and he's like, this guy's like, I've already feasted on many 16-year-old girls, like. Because, actually, it's like one aspect of the demon's personality is trying to calm the other bloodthirsty one down, being like, hey, we've already eaten a lot of 16-year-olds, bro. Like, we could, like, calm down for a bit and be fine. And so Kazumi begs the demons to return Satoko to them. Like, but they don't know the girls by name, so, like, one of the demons just, like, opens up his, like, cloak to reveal a bunch of, like, hairpins he's taken as, like, trophies of all the girls he's killed. And Satoko's red hair ribbon is like hanging prominently among them. And so they know that she's dead. And so the demons attack again. Tanjiro fends them off with some pretty dank backflips and like slashes. And then Nezuko also wakes up from her backpack nap. And she's pissed.
Backpack nap?
Yeah, she's just napping in the backpack.
It would not be a comfortable nap.
Well, she makes herself smaller. I think she like literally like shrinks herself down when she goes in there. So I think she's fine. It's like I Dream of Jeannie. Like she's like inside the little lamp and she's just chilling.
Maybe.
So the demons back off for a second when they see Tanjiro's fighting with like a demon on his side.
I really like how they have the main character fighting alongside like another character, you know?
Yeah.
It's not all about him. That's kind of cool. It's different.
It's like
It is nice.
it's annoying that she's in his backpack half the time, but yes, I agree. Like when she's out, I'm like pretty hyped. And so Nezuko approaches Cosme and the girl and holds her hands to their faces. And she kind of imagines that they're like Tanjiro and her little sister for a moment. And Tanjiro remembers then that Urokodaki told him that he had used hypnotic suggestion on Nezuko to make her believe that all humans are her family and that demons are the enemy. So he basically hypnotized Nezuko into being like normal again, which just begs the question, like, does Nezuko even need to wear that like thing that she wears, like the muzzle on her mouth? Like if she's been hypnotized, I don't know if she does.
The bamboo gag.
Yeah. And then like the episode ends with like Nezuko like running up to one of the demons and like axe kicking it in the face, you know, which is cool.
She's got a vicious kick, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty
does.
kick. But yeah, I was kind of annoyed at like the hypnosis thing because it's just like, oh, that seems like too simple. Like I liked.
Well, it also seems like now she's basically not herself, and that's kind of shitty.
I liked her as herself because it was more complex, where it seemed like she had these moments where she wanted to defend her brother, and that broke through like the whatever was in her bloodstream,
demonization
with
or whatever.
desires, yeah. And so that was kind of more interesting. Now that she's just hypnotized, I'm guessing that somebody, maybe that like big bad guy, will like break the hypnotization, and that'll be more interesting again. But we'll see.
Yeah. I also was struck throughout this. I know he's had those earrings the whole fucking time, but like, how is this guy fighting these dramatic fights where he's flipping in the air and shit with these big ass earrings? Like, I can't stand to wear these little tiny earrings because they annoy me when I move my head and shit. I mean, he's got these huge dangly things.
Look, he's learned how to deal with this.
That's bizarre to me.
It's true. He is flipping around with those.
I can tell you, those are annoying as fuck. Like a breeze comes and you're like shit, and it's like getting tangled in things. I don't know. Seems sketch to me.
Something tells me like the person who wrote this never ever thought about that once.
Probably not.
So yeah, no, that's interesting though. That's a good point. So speaking of cool stuff and flipping around and killing shit, Dororo.
Yeah. Okay. I get the shark episode.
Good for you.
Okay. So episode 18, The Story of Cape Impermanence.
That was like a interesting title. It's just like the Cape of Impermanence. Okay.
It's like, okay. So the episode starts where it ended 2 weeks ago. So I'm really not sure why they chose to have that random episode in the between this arc.
I think it was
like
just
little mini arc?
a matter of like timing, because like we had to see what Hyakimaru was up to in between before he could come back and join up with Dororo. So
well,
I guess that makes sense.
It also explains why his fucking brother shows up too.
That's true. Yeah. So it sets up all the pieces to be in the same place.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Tahomaru, yeah.
I just remember the truck thing you had to tell Kat.
Like, Chevy Tahomaru. Yeah. He's like a rock.
Okay, so Shark Dude. I'm going to call him Shark Dude because, like...
That's fine. We know who you're talking about.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a shame because that guy was actually hot before he turned crazy. I don't know.
He had a cool shark haircut. I liked that.
He did. I felt like he should have jumped out of the bushes and been like, shark, bait, hoo-ha-ha. But that would have been dumb. Anyway.
The drummer from Death Offord's only got one arm.
Oh, shit. Okay. So Shark Dude is left all beat up and screaming by the like gang of, robber guys. And the dead shark is in the water all like, and being weird. and they're screaming at each other, and they're both like sad that the other shark is dead. And then all of a sudden, the one in the water's like eyes get all red and weird, and it's like having a fit. And I don't know. At this point, I was wondering to myself, like, what is going on with this shark guy's psyche? Because he crawls to the dead shark, and he's like, "How much it must have hurt you," and like it was terrible. But like, this dude killed an entire village
And fed them to sharks. And
like, what do you mean it must have hurt?
And he's been like eating people allegedly too, because I mean, like the sharks are like bringing him body parts that other episode.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So I mean, he's got some shit going on himself. So he's judging a little bit.
He's got some like compartmentalization happening here. He's like, the hurt done to me and my family is terrible, but the things I've done to other people, well, we're gonna forget about that for now. Which is interesting. And I think it's interesting because of what happens later in the episode as well. So I'll come back to that. So the surviving shark pulls itself like onto the shore and starts eating the fucking dead shark while the shark guy encourages him. And this is so bizarre. Like, this seems to turn the living shark into this weird, like, white
demon shark.
Like,
yes,
frog
for sure.
thing. It's
Frog
not really
thing.
even a demon shark because like the legs come out of it and they look like frog legs. It's like a weird demon, like shark frog hybrid that is white and weird.
Frog shark.
Frog shark.
Tune in next week for
So-
the adventures of Frog Shark.
Oh shit!
He's half frog,
That's something
half
that should
shark.
never exist. If they make that in a lab somewhere, like the whole lab needs to be burned to the ground. But yeah, the hybrid shark frog thingy starts crawling around, eating trees and shit, and I'm like, why? Like, what?
Oh, holy
I
shit!
don't know.
Frog shark is actually a thing.
What?
The
Well,
frog shark is a
nuh-uh.
very rare species of shark, mainly found in deep water. It is in the sleeper shark family with the Greenland shark.
Oh,
No, you need to show us pictures of this shit now.
well, I'm assuming it doesn't have like frog legs. It's not like a weird amphibian
Why else
mix.
would they call it frog shark?
You know, the people are crazy.
No, I'm looking this up.
You Google image
Okay.
search and you get a bunch of frogs with shark teeth.
That's not what I want. Okay, where the fuck is the real thing? Leo, you brought this up. You better fucking find a picture of this.
It honestly, it honestly just looks like any other shark you've seen before, for the most part.
Oh, it doesn't have legs or
Nah, it's
anything?
nothing special looking.
I was so excited, and then you disappointed me.
It's an ugly son of a bitch, is what it is.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not
all
pretty.
sharks are ugly son of a bitches.
I think we got distracted there.
We're gonna have like an angry email come in. Sharks are beautiful creatures, and they deserve your love and respect.
At least if you get
think
an email from viewers.
It's true. God damn.
Okay, so at this point, it like the weird shark thing, the weird frog shark, almost eats Dororo and is like going nuts, eating weird shit. And Hyakimaru shows up, and Hyakimaru's like, "All right, I'm gonna take this shark frog thing down." And it's like thrashing around, and Hyakimaru is kind of like just hanging on for a while. And then the shark guy goes up to them to help the shark, and the shark hits it with its fucking tail and takes it out. Like,
Yeah, he
I'm
like,
like, ooh, friendly fire.
like throws him like 50 feet. Yeah, he goes back pretty far.
yeah, it was not a love tap. It was like a I don't give a fuck thing. But yeah, Hyakimaru and Dororo reunite after he finally manages to kill a shark. And it's very cute because Hyakimaru kind of grabs Dororo and holds him, and their heads touch, and he like rubs. It reminded me of the Sasuke touch, except like with their heads touching instead of the head flick thing.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a cute moment.
Yeah,
It was nice.
It was cute. It was like they rubbed their heads together, and he's like, I came for you," and And Dororo,
Phrasing.
Hyakimaru never says anything, so it's very cute. And meanwhile, Shark Guy is incredulous that Hyakimaru did all that, like killed that shark frog demon thing just so his leg could grow back. And he thinks of it as like it's a lot of hardship and this really valuable thing that he sacrificed, i.e. the life of the shark frog thing, just so that he could have this small gain of his leg back. And it seems incredibly wasteful to the Shark Guy. Which is interesting to us because obviously it's like a perspective thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Anyway, meanwhile, the bandits, they're like, all right, we're at the cave. We're going to go in. We're going to get this shit. But they don't realize that there are traps in the cave. So immediately, like, several of them are killed in an explosion. And it's clear that the treasure isn't going to be easy to get. And then it's Tahomaru.
Yeah.
I always just say Hyakimaru's brother.
Yeah.
Tahomaru has come to the island with a small army in pursuit of Hyakimaru. And he's like, all right, guys, we're here. We're going to kill these son of a bitches. Everyone go. Just kill everyone you find. Let's just get this over with.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hyakimaru and Dororo meet up with the bandits who have already been like attacked by Tahomaru's men. So everyone's kind of like, well, we got to work together right now. And Dororo, or actually, isn't it Hyakimaru that kind of says like, we can all go boom?
Yep.
And the leader seems to kind of get that. And they dress up a bandit in samurai gear and have him act hurt and claim the bandits have explosives. And they have one of the traps go off in the cave. So like a bunch of soldiers rush into the cave. And then the bandits and Dororo and Hyakimaru all take that moment when they're all rushing in there to escape. So they basically create a diversion.
Smart.
However, Tahomaru isn't fooled and is waiting for him, along with his two close aides. And as Hyakimaru kind of runs to fight Tahomaru, the aide like makes the ground collapse, and he almost kills Hyakimaru.
Mm-hmm.
And he manages to get back up and fight, but he's basically fighting 3 people at once. So that kind of sucks for him. Meanwhile, the bandits run away and they take Dororo with them. They're like, we're going. Like, bye. They do get some distance away, but are attacked again. And like, there's this line of Buddhist statues, and Dororo like leans up against one somehow, and all of the others magically fall over.
But I mean, like
in a domino effect.
I think it was a trap though, because like it was one of the clues on the map, and that like because like that's where the Itachi or whatever his name was sitting, was like by that like 3rd Buddha statue, and that's like the one that Dororo knocked over, and it just like caused all the others to like slide down the side of the mountain or whatever. So I guess it was like,
well, maybe.
I guess they foreshadowed that it might have been at least been a trap of some kind.
Yeah, it just seemed like a weird way for it to trigger. Like, I don't know how they would make it do that every time.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Maybe they were tied together with a rope or something, but it didn't show that. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, so they're like, oh, look at that. It like magically did that. But this enables Dororo to get away with the head bandit who's mortally wounded. Hyakimaru is still fighting with his brother and the aides, and the girl aide like hits an arrow into his back from the other side of a tree.
Yeah, it goes right through the tree.
Yeah, there's like a little.
How strong?
There's a little knot.
You have to be.
No, there was like a hole in the tree.
No, there
It
was
shot
a knot
right through a hole.
No, there was a knot.
Okay.
Yeah, like a knot. Like
I
a
thought
knot.
it was
They
just
said
like,
it was a
I'm
knot,
so
which
strong.
doesn't make sense because knots are harder than the fucking tree.
Yeah, so it would have actually been still, I'm so strong, I can fire an arrow through a fucking tree.
No, there was a hole in the knot though that she shot it through.
But there's never like a hollow hole in a knot of a tree.
Yeah,
like there may be a knot, but it's not going to go all the way through.
That's true. Well, it was a great fucking shot. That's all I'm gonna say. Damn.
Did you ever think in podcasting we would get to the point where we're debating about the knot of a tree trunk?
I think we've done a lot worse than this.
God, I like how we always manage to like come out on 3 sides of the same fucking issue too.
Oh, I know.
And it's always some stupid thing like a tree knot.
We're sitting here like, no, you don't get it. It would be harder. We're like fighting.
God damn it.
Oh my god. So, but yeah, they're still fighting. Meanwhile, the shark guy, he makes this threat where he's like, "Don't worry, dead demon frog shark. I'm gonna go with you to the great beyond. But like first, I'm gonna bring you all these really valuable presents and gifts." And so you think he's talking about the treasure, because that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to find the explosives, goes up to the top of the mountain, lights all the explosives, causes this huge like avalanche thing.
Landslide.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. It's a bunch of rocks are going
Get your
everywhere.
terminology
Okay?
right, Kat.
Well, like I also okay. Here's like another example of us like disagreeing about stupid shit. So I also like was like, oh, it's kind of like a landslide, but then I was like, oh, it's not really a landslide. It's more like an avalanche, and then I was like, but it's also half of an explosion. So like I don't even know what to call this. It's like 3 things at once, honestly.
He introduces chaos.
Yes.
There's things flying everywhere. This interrupts everything. Hyakimaru and Tahomaru are like, oh, well, I guess we can't fight while the world falls apart. We better do something. They separate to get away. Most of the soldiers get killed. And Dororo and the main bandit make it to the treasure cave. And the bandit leader, like, begs Dororo to let him see it before he dies, because he's, like, mortally injured. And he's so consumed. And, like, once he sees the treasure, he's so happy and at peace. And then he just dies immediately.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that the Bandit King and Hyakimaru clearly see, like, human life as something secondary to other more valuable things.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, like, not the way the shark guy sees it, because he basically thought the lives of all those people were much more important than the treasure.
Yeah.
Because that's what he chose to take with him when he died.
Yeah.
That's the more valuable thing. So, I don't know. It's very philosophical and interesting in that way. This whole show is just based on, I feel like, it's weird commentary on Buddhist beliefs in a way.
Yeah.
So,
Makes
that's
sense.
an example of that. But yeah, Tahomaru's male aide, whose name is like Hyogo or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
he dies from his injuries. Oh, fuck! No! Cat, stop! My cat just fell, and like instead of falling gracefully, he grabbed onto my leg, like like Simba's father.
Yeah.
In that avalanche thing.
Okay, it's not.
Mufasa.
I just watched that scene again. It's not clear if Hyogo's dead or not.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if he was dead or not either. He just was like very badly injured. At
Yeah,
least,
they're like nudging him, saying his name, and then it just cuts away, and that's it. So it's like, is he just badly injured or not? So we don't know.
I think he died. It looked like he died.
It's close, at least. He may have died. I wouldn't be surprised.
Another
if we find out
example
he
of
did.
us disagreeing.
Well, it is left like it's like left slightly because on-screen deaths in anime are always bullshit, so you never know.
Okay, he's literally laying on
is
his
true.
back. You can't tell if he's breathing. You can't tell anything. His eyes are closed. And Tahomaru like nudges him with his hand and says his name twice, and it cuts away. That doesn't tell you shit if he's dead or not.
I mean, he's a minor character.
Yeah, he's fairly.
It's
minor.
probably just so that Tahomaru was upset. So that makes me think they probably kill him off, because that would make him the most upset.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. But anyway, he dies. Dororo
Maybe.
and Hyakimaru get or whatever the fuck. He's hurt.
He's in limbo. He's
Something
neither
happened.
dead nor alive.
He's a Schrodinger cat or whatever. Until next episode. Dororo and Hyakimaru get the fuck away. They leave most of the treasure because Dororo doesn't feel right about taking it, or some moral bullshit that doesn't make sense.
She doesn't know what to do with it yet. She's like, I'll come back for this when I have an idea of what I really want to do with it. But then, yeah, she takes like a few coins. She's like, we could use these,
Yeah,
though.
she's like, just a little to get by. And I'm like, yeah, you should have just taken as much as you could, because that's practical. But whatever. And it's all supposed to be very like commentary on like material things not being as important as life and blah, blah, which has probably got merit, but also in reality, material things matter somewhat.
Which is like, yeah, I was glad when Dororo took those few coins because I knew Kat would have like lost her shit if they had just left all of that gold there.
Yeah.
I would have whooped her. I would have been like, Dororo, you stupid cunt.
So this is like one of the more action-packed episodes, I thought, with like some really nice animation finally they brought back, like in particular like Hyakimaru fighting against Tahomaru and Hyogo, like for the most part looked pretty awesome. And like there was one cut where Hyakimaru was like slicing some arrows out of the air to protect himself from the soldiers. That looked great. And then like when he locked katanas with Tahomaru, that was also like pretty great. I was like really glad to see that this show was finally showing that like Mappa is capable of animating shit when they try, and so it looked great. Yeah.
I just like that they made it kind of philosophical because I enjoy that kind of commentary, and I think it makes shows more deep and less like just surface based.
Yeah.
So that it was a really good show or episode for me for that reason.
And the last thing I noticed is Hyogo, the guy who we don't know if he's dead or alive. His weapon, his like giant weapon, was like glowing blue when we were looking through Hyakimaru's eyes. So I was like, I don't know what blue glow means. I was like, maybe it's like divinely blessed, like this weapon or something. It was kind of cool.
That's the same thing I thought.
And yeah, he was able to like break through one of Hyakimaru's katanas with it, like chopping it right off. So that's pretty cool.
It is a giant mace blunt weapon, so that's not too surprising.
That makes sense, yeah. But so we've reached the halfway point. Should we break for a few minutes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll take a break. We'll see you in a few.
Woo.
All right, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm JD, your host of the Red Leaf Retrocast, your best location to learn, remember, and relive the past to the present. Our podcast has 4 shows for you to listen to between retro gaming, modern gaming, anime, and even wrestling. The Retro Gaming Cast covers discussion topics, and each episode we discuss retro games picked based on a decided theme for that episode, ranging from space all the way to console specials like the old handheld Game Boy. Our Modern Gaming Cast is monthly and covers video game titles that were released in that previous month. Each anime cast, we focus to review a retro anime each and every episode, like the original Mobile Suit Gundam to the racing hit Initial D. But that's not all. We also keep up with the seasonal shows, by occasionally doing impressions and reviews as well. Finally, our last show is about wrestling, where we keep the rising indie scene up to date, while also covering shows from the bigger promotions like Ring of Honor, New Japan, and WWE, so we cover it all. We also cover a retired wrestler every episode in what we call the Wrestler Spotlight, and are currently on a quest covering old WCW Thunder episodes from the late 90s, every cast. So if any one of those casts sound like something you'd like to check out, that's the Red Leaf Retrocast, Gaming, Anime, and Wrestling, found at iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and all your favorite podcasting sites. Also, you can learn, remember, and relive the past to the present. We can't wait to see you soon.
The following is an extract from Reanimator Pod episode 47, Blood, Blood, Blood. Taka discusses Des Irae.
Most of the characters in the show, particularly the villains, have more than one name, like many more than one. For example, the super powerful mage from my synopsis is Karl Kraft, also known as Mercurius, also known as Faust, also known as Saint Germain, also known as Paracelsus, also known as Cagliostro, also known as Copophilius Smudge. Woo! Okay, that last one is a Reanimator special, but the rest are all legit. Like, he actually has those names. How about a few more?
He's got more names?
No, they're other characters. He actually had that many names, though. Wilhelm Ehrenberg is Kazikli Bey, because why not? Valeria Trifa is Christoph Lohengrin, who's a priest and is commonly referred to as Father. Lord Heydrich is also Reinhard, and Teresia is Rhea, but Fujiren, aka Zarathustra, is our main character, and also refers to Rhea as Senpai. So we never really learn her name until other characters start calling her Rhea. But really her name's Teresia, so I don't really know how that adds up. Ugh.
And if you like that and you want to hear more from the Reanimator Pod, head on over to reanimatorpod.com. That's reanimatorpod.com. matorpod.com. New episodes are out every Monday.
Don't drop that. Hey, don't drop that.
And we're back with Attack on Titan Season 3.
Part 2.
Well, I mean,
Which is-
it's really Season 4.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we make this joke every time. Honestly, we should keep doing it every single episode.
You just watch the viewers just get more and more angry. By the end of it, you're like, we fucking know!
It's actually a prequel to Season 4, but not Season 3. That's
No,
what it
you're
is.
not
Wow.
allowed to say that shit. No. No. We're going to call it Season 3.5.
It's a short OVA series that takes place between Season 3 and 4.
Okay, so episode 53, baseball game between the Titans and the Scouts.
Hey, it's called Perfect Game. Okay, so first of all, does this confirm that baseball exists in the Attack on Titan universe?
Or
I
it
guess.
did exist.
Also, like,
Could you
who are
imagine
the
a
teams?
baseball game?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god, the Scouts would be so good. Holy shit, they'd be so good at baseball. It'd be ridiculous. Mikasa? Oh man, I would love to see Mikasa just like knock one out of the fucking park.
I want to see
Destroy.
Titans playing baseball.
Well, we get to this episode.
We just want to
kind
see them running around the bases, let's be honest.
Yes, I want to see it fall. I want to see there be like a stand full of regular sized people watching the Titans and like the whole stadium shaking.
If you want to see a Titan play baseball, just watch Aaron Judge on the New York Yankees. It's basically the same thing.
So, anyways, let's start this. Armin kind of like freaks out at the beginning of this episode and tells Jean to take over for him, and they decide to hide like by the river. And then Jean says he has no idea what to do and tells Armin they're relying on him. So this back and forth was just weird. It's right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Outside the wall, some of the squads move forward to clean up the rest of the small Titans. And while Levi stays behind to rest and try to figure out what the explosion was that was on the other side of the wall, we know it was the Colossal Titan. While he's standing here pondering this, he suddenly notices rocks and boulders raining down and looks up to see the Beast Titan grinding up boulders and throwing them at them.
Yeah.
It, lack of better words, it decimates that forward squad that went forward to kill the
Well,
small Titans.
But decimate really just means reduce by 1/10, and I think it's doing a lot more than that.
It is pretty much wiping that squad out. Yeah.
It completely wipes it out because it only leaves Levi with the squad that was with the horses, and they retreat back to the wall and meet up with Erwin. Erwin informs them 3 squads got wiped out by the Beast Titan's attack, and the situation inside the wall isn't doing too well either. He is currently unsure of the casualties on that side yet. And it's definitely not looking good for them because it is all new recruits, which is like Levi and Erwin, the only veterans left.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back inside the wall, with Aaron tries to grab the Colossal Titan's attention by yelling at him to keep him from walking towards the wall. The Titan ignores him and continues to the wall. Jean quickly tells Aaron to go for his legs and to stop him. I did say Colossal Titan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, for math, I said Armin. Aaron actually starts to push him back until the Colossal Titan decides to just punt Aaron like he's a fucking ragdoll into the literal top of the fucking wall.
It's just gets like lodged into the top of the wall, and he's just unconscious. Yeah.
With Aaron currently out of the picture, Jean quickly says to launch an attack because the Colossal Titan doesn't know about the Thunder Spears yet. Everybody distracts while Mikasa goes around his back and fires the Thunder Spears. Unfortunately, not even they are strong enough to get through the Titan's Steam Blast. If you remember when he did this from whatever episode that was, but that was last season. Mm-hmm. Mikasa also takes like a bit of shrapnel to the arm, and they regroup with Armin, who still has no idea what to do. And just to make matters worse, they see that the godforsaken armor titan has recovered and is walking towards it. I was just like, why? This fucker has taken so much goddamn damage. Why is he still alive?
He's
Also-
basically immortal at this point. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
And when you see his face that has been like healing, it doesn't look like Mars Attacks anymore, but it just looks like a blank burn victims type of face or something. It's very weird.
It kind of made me think of the Andros at the end of Star Fox.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So back to Levi and the gang, and Levi thinks they should retreat and suggests to Erwin that they have people scatter on horses, along with Erwin and some of the others escape, riding Aaron, and says as long as you two make it back, there's still hope, referring to him and Erwin. No, I mean Erwin and Aaron. Blech. Pulling a cat with Armin and Erwin. He also
Not so easy to say his
Yeah,
name, is
it's
it,
not so
fucking
easy,
Leo?
is it?
I get tongue-tied. I don't know how many people I've said this whole episode. He also says he'll be going after the Beast Titan to try and get him. And the whole time, one of the new recruits is just like having this complete fucking meltdown. He's like, those are veterans. Did you see how easily they got killed? We have no stand no chance.
I mean, it makes sense though. Like this guy's like a new recruit.
And you know what? I'm making fun of him, but I also don't blame him because this looks like a very you're not going to live situation.
This is a bad situation. Yeah.
Basically, Levi believes they should take the loss and retreat. Erwin then cryptically says, "But what if we had a way to counterattack?" Intrigued, Levi's like, "Just spit it out, old man."
Yeah.
But we go back to Erwin. I'm sorry, not Erwin. We're still here. Erwin says it will be the cost at his life and new recruits. He also says it will take a lot of lying and a good con man to convince him, basically calling himself that. His biggest regret, though, is that he will die never knowing what is in the fucking basement.
Oh, no.
Which,
okay.
look, I can identify with that.
I know. I think everybody.
Pictures, and I'm just like every Attack on Titan fan.
I know he said that. I knew everybody just went, yeah, we get that. We would too. We really want to know what's in that damn basement too. But it's okay though, because Levi has a pep talk for Erwin, and I believe Bcom would like to have the honors of reciting it for us.
I love this line. Like Levi just goes, "I'm making the choice. Give up on your dreams. Die. Lead the recruits straight into hell." And I was like, "Holy shit, Levi! That's pretty intense." But he's probably right that it's the only thing they could really do at this time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
it sucks for Erwin though. It sucks for him. But.
Yeah, Erwin gives a decent speech that gets like everybody on board to at least die while fighting. What they do is break up into 3 units and do like a cavalry charge at the Beast Titan. They also fire off their smoke signals to partially affect the Beast Titan's accuracy. While they are charging, Levi's using his ODM gear to go across the line of Titans next to the Beast Titan and sneak up on him, which is kind of cool. The final scene is of some of the people getting destroyed by the rocks, and Erwin taking one to his side and being thrown from his horse. Also, everybody has like the most panic-stricken and borderline crazy looks on their faces. They right towards Titans. I was like, wow. And
They did a really good job with the drawing. I was like, okay, this is serious now. We got the game face on or something.
Oh, they're so just crazed looking, like they're just going the whole fucking time.
And I feel like yet again, like Attack on Titan stands out for its really like nuanced writing, because like Erwin like says to himself, like only an expert con man could make these soldiers follow me into hell. And I really like how self-aware like the writer is about how Erwin is asking these soldiers to just go to their deaths, and it like doesn't necessarily make any judgments on whether like Erwin's choice is the right or wrong one, but it shows that what it takes to get people to go to their death when they clearly know that they're gonna die, and get them to believe in this greater good that may or may not exist. And it's just really fantastic writing. And like a lot of series would just have Erwin just be like, "Oh, let's go kill the Titans," and the recruits would just be like, "Yay, let's do it!" Yeah, but no, Attack on Titan's like, no, they're fucking horrified, and they know they're probably gonna die, but they also know this is the one thing standing between them and possibly humanity surviving. So,
Make the most of this awful, awful situation.
Also, Beast Titan has a great arm. I think the Yankees should sign him in free agency. They could use an extra pitcher right now. And I like his windup. It's very unorthodox, but I think we could work with it. We get a pitching coach, and we'll be good. We'll be good.
You and making baseball jokes that nobody understands. Yourself.
I understand.
Like he says it, and I just immediately assume the Yankees have a pitching problem right now.
We do, actually. The Yankees do have a pitching problem. And, like, actually, the Yankees are in first place. But, their starting pitching is a little iffy. So, yeah. Anyway.
It pans to the crowd, and everyone's just yawning, like scratching their beards.
You could say the Yankees roster has, like, literally been decimated, Kat, actually. Like, a fucking tenth of their roster is on the injured list right now, so.
Yeah, you know who else probably has a really good throwing arm? Saitama.
You bet he
probably.
does.
One throw! The whole team is gone. All right. So up next, we've got One Punch Man. Let me attempt to get my cat off my fucking shoulder. Get the fuck off! Damn it!
The cat has been something before we even started recording today, guys. So just so you know,
won't leave me alone. I left for the weekend to go to a comedy festival, and he's like, "No, bitch, you left me alone all weekend. I am glued to you." Anyway, okay. So, what did they call this episode? Let's see.
The Monster Uprising.
The Monster Uprising.
which is hilariously what I called, because when I was explaining, like, this is kind of like 3 arcs in one. The Monster Uprising was what I named one of the arcs, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right.
No, nice. You were right on. Oh, man. Okay, so, as always, I'm just going to cut it into one arc and the other arc, because this back and forth thing is weird.
It's for the best.
Yes. So, Genos just got done incinerating all those fucking monsters outside the stadium, and it's all clear, and he's like, all right, I'm needed out here. Like, let's see what I can do. Just as he fucking does that, a cockroach monster comes. And I'm like, stop it! What the fuck are you doing? Like, nobody wanted a cockroach monster. No one asked for one.
Got it.
It's right up there with Pineapple Man as things that I don't want to see. Or Man in a Bird Suit.
Well,
no.
This is what the creator loves to do. Just these crazy characters. They're going to be more get used to it. And bird guy in a suit or guy in a bird suit, he plays a bigger role later on, so you're not done with him either.
He's a fucking psychopath.
I don't think
all these
it'll be in
people
this
are
season, though.
weird. What would happen to you? Okay, you've just turned into a monster. You're like, what happened? What did I become? I'm so excited.
Well, you became Super S. We established that last episode.
Well, okay, but you look in the fucking mirror, you're Cockroach Man. What the fuck do you do? You try to kill yourself, you can't die. Imagine your sad existence from there. I understand why he's a villain.
Just drinking cans of Raid.
Just trying. But yeah, meanwhile, lots of heroes have a fuck ton of injuries. And that dude, Naranki's son, got kidnapped. So, Genos continues to fight this cockroach dude that, like, scuttles around. And every time... I love how Genos is like, this unique gait. And I'm like, call it what it is! It's creepy and fucked up! So, Genos thinks to himself at one point that he has to use that, even though he was against installing it. And he, like, lets this shit go, and it's like an adhesive he had originally designed for, like, Speedasonic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he's upset about having to use it because he thinks it makes it so he has to admit that, like, he's weak against Speedasonic. And I'm like, just fucking stop being such a stuck-up asshole and just do what you gotta do. But so he traps the cockroach guy and he incinerates it, and you're like, awesome. Now it's finally over. But then he, like, turns around dramatically and he's like, something is a coming. And you never find out what's a coming, but apparently something got him. Meanwhile, Dominatrix girl is still at her shit, and it's, like, fun to see her. I enjoy her. I like her. She's cool.
She's super.
She's super S.
Super S.
Super sadistic. So the Blizzard girl isn't doing well against her and her slaves. And, like, oh, did you see that like, shot of her back?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, where she got
Blizzard's back.
She
got, like...
baby got back, okay?
Ooh, she got whooped. Like, ooh. So some people enjoyed that scene a little bit too
I mean,
much.
that's what a whip will do.
But yeah, she comments that her big sister will come without like threats, and apparently she feels when Blizzard is hurt, which is weird to me. Like, are they psychically connected?
Somehow, yeah, it seems
Well,
like
If
I mean,
she can feel when she's hurt,
That
does that mean
kind of goes
when-
down their alley of their powers, so it's pretty believable.
Well, but like, how far does that go? So, like, can she feel when her sister is hurt too? Like, or
what
is
if
it just a one
can
way?
can one feel if the other orgasms?
That's what I was just thinking. Like, do you think across town she's like, well, my sister is fucking.
She's
I
getting
have
plowed.
to endure this.
I mean,
like-
that would make for some good comedy because she's just like trying to like get a good night's sleep, and she's like, "Oh, come on again."
Here at Nerdom and Other Nonsense, we answer the hard questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, and then basically Blizzard does pretty well. Like, she whoops all the minions, and actually her sister helps though.
Tatsumaki, yeah.
Yeah, and then Dominatrix Girl gets away though, and like her sister basically tells Blizzard like, listen, just get all the smaller heroes, like go evacuate. You're all in the way anyway. And of course Blizzard is like, oh, and like, you know that meme with Arthur like with his fist clenched? I feel
Yeah.
like that's Blizzard in that. She's like, you're just in the way, and she's just like, ugh.
I was also really laughing at Tatsumaki's voice because since I had just recently seen the Tanya the Evil movie, like Tanya the Evil's voice is like iconic in my head right now. Like I can't get it out of there. And so when Aoi Yuki, who's the voice actress for Tatsumaki, also is doing her Tatsumaki voice, I'm just hearing like Tanya the Evil, and I'm just hearing this like little German Nazi girl like talking to her sister, and I'm like, oh, this is awkward. It's funny.
It is fun. I love Tanya the Evil. I think she needs more of that.
I would like to see more of that
Yeah,
as well.
I definitely will check out the movie whenever I can get my hands on it.
You will enjoy that movie a lot.
I
It's
demand the second season. I'll watch the movie, but I demand the second season.
Yeah, I would like to see a season. And the movie definitely leaves things open that could happen eventually. So
Sweet.
All right. So meanwhile, in the tournament arc, which seems to be dominating over the hero arc at this point, which
A little
is
bit.
odd.
Yeah.
A little bit of an odd choice. The next fight is Suryu versus Max. Max is apparently a hero, and Suryu gets him pretty good right away. Like, he's just no fight at all. And I think so Suryu's just like, I wanted an easy life, and this seemed like a good choice for that. But, like, he's hot. Like, I'm pretty sure there's easier ways to have an easy life than to do this. Like, all he had to do was walk in on some, like, really old, like, rich girl and be like, I want you to give me money. Like, that would be the easiest thing. Not this. Like, I don't know. Like, there's so many other things he could have done. He could have gone robbed a bank. Like, he could have, like, I don't know. Anyway, Saitama is disguised as Stronko, and he isn't impressed by this. And Sourface thinks that this is because he's an amateur and not because, like, he's talented, and to him, like, he's like, oh, I could beat him easily. But to be fair, like, it's also kind of both because he is an amateur, so he probably also doesn't understand, like, how impressive that is.
He
And then
figures
the
it out next episode, though, and it's hilarious.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun. And the next fight is some snake bite guy who's a hero. as
Sneak.
well.
Oh yeah, that guy was weird.
Snack.
Yeah.
He's snack.
Snack. Oh, I know.
Top
I
Snek.
realized halfway through the episode that his name was actually Snek, not Snakebite. And I was like, what meme is
Snack.
this?
I'm a snack.
It literally is a meme. It's ridiculous.
And then he's fighting against some, like, ponytail dude. And, like, Snek is like, I'm concerned with Suryo and upping my hero ranking, and because I'm a Snek. And I can't do it. I can't stop doing it. Anyway. And then, meanwhile, a bunch of monsters as we already know, are outside. And the management is like, oh, we should be worried because, like, they could attack the stadium and everyone would die. And they're getting ready to evacuate everyone. But this guy, Bakuzan, is like, no, we are not going to evacuate people that should be evacuated because it'll incite panic. So instead he's like, we're strong in here. We'll be fine. And I'm like, this sounds like something that will go terribly wrong.
Yeah, but he does kind of have a point. He's like, you know how many fighters we have in here? They're probably safer in here with us. And it's kind of like, yeah, you can debate that for sure.
I guess, but... And then, like, okay, at this point, they mention that this city is called City C or something.
Did you just now realize this?
Oh, yes, but imagine a world where
I don't have to imagine a world. I've seen one whole season of it, and I'm halfway through another season of it.
They don't bring it up very much, okay?
I've also read the manga, so I really don't have to imagine.
Fat mouth. Imagine a world where, yeah, you're a fat fucking mouth. Imagine a world where instead of like, yeah, I live in Indianapolis, and be like, I live in City C.
And there's heroes everywhere, and there's a hero association. Yeah,
okay,
I'm really imagining this.
I don't care about that part. I'm just why are they?
There's
so
a guy
unoriginal?
named Saitama and Jenna.
Why did they decide that? Like, it's human nature to want to name things fancy names.
Because the creator is spending more time on naming every fucking character in this show.
Birdman and Snek. He's using all of his creative power to name Snek.
Not
instead.
time to name a fucking city.
I'm just saying.
What should I name this snake-like hero? Oh, I don't know. Snek.
I vote that instead of it being the hero's name, that the city is now called Snek.
Snek City.
Snek City. Wait, if you say Snek City really fast, it sounds like sexy. Snek City, Snek City, Snek City. Anyway.
Okay. And so now a bunch of fights are scrolled through super fucking fast. And once again, I'm not remembering all that shit.
The best time record for a tournament fight in an anime ever.
And I'm just like, okay, at least... At first I was outraged because I was like, at least respect the tournament arc. And then I thought about it and I was like, but this show respects nothing about traditional shonen. The whole point of the show is to make fun of all of the traditional shonen things. So of course they're fucking just taking a big fat shit all over the tournament arc.
Yep.
They're just like, oh, this would be the point where you would be really invested in these fights. And we're going to scroll through them in a minute and a half. But I do love it. It's one of my favorite things about this anime is everything is just fucking fair game. Sourface finally goes up against some big-ass guy. And he just kind of wins, I guess.
Yeah.
But you don't really see the fight, which is another, like, shonen trope that they're shitting all over because you never would have like an important fight like that and then just not show the fight and be like, anyone.
Well, the thing with this show is like, even when they do show those fights right now, it's just like frustrating to watch because like every fight this episode pretty much devolved into this like blur of just like unintelligible punches and kicks, and it's like it just sucks to watch because there's like no weight to any of it, you know, like there was in the first season. And it's just like, or in other action shows, like even Demon Slayer has great weight to its combat when like Tanjiro is like slicing through the demons and stuff. Like it's, I don't know, it seems like more, you know, on edge than this does anyway.
Yeah, they don't have enough animation budget to actually show the fights if they wanted to, which is a shame. But it's also kind of a thing of the show that they don't really want to show you the fights because... Yeah, so it's a little of both, but... Yeah, for sure. And then you get Saitama versus Bakuzan. And I'm like, yes, in a normal show, like, this would be the epic fight. This would be, like, the show, the fight to end the tournament arc. So Bakuzan tries to do this monologue about how he has to beat someone who doesn't belong there. But Saitama, like, isn't listening and is just trying to tie his belt again.
Yeah.
And then this just makes Bakuzan so pissed off because he's like, you can't even fucking listen to me. You can't even fucking tie your belt. And Saitama's like, yeah, I'm an amateur. Like, show me why I should be afraid of you because I'm actually very interested in this. And Bakuzan starts like going on in villain style about like, I have this move and I could destroy all of your internal organs with it in 1 second. And then I have this move too, and it would do this and this to you. And Saitama kind of like listens for a little bit. But then Bakuzan actually touches Saitama's head on accident. And Saitama is alarmed immediately that he will be discovered.
Yeah.
that he's got this wig on. And so he just like punches him. And Bakuzan is thrown out of the ring and the fight's over. And Saitama's like, I didn't mean to do that though. I wanted you to show me more things.
Yeah.
And you know, it's very cute. They have a little monologue towards the end where Snick apparently used to be a good little Snick, but then he got so sad that all of the other people were more strong than him, and he's like, Surya's so talented and he doesn't even use it, and blah blah blah. And then the poor Snake Man goes bye-bye. And we all have to say goodbye. It's very sad.
Poor Snick.
And then, yeah, poor Snick. Oh, God. And then at the very end, now I just want to make a meme of, like, the poor Snake Man with, like, the actual Snake Man meme over him.
Yeah.
And just them merged together. R.I.P. Snick.
2019. It's like faded black and white.
Yeah. And then apparently at the very end, it's like almost a post-ending song little thing. There's a king and his name is Orochi, and he's in charge of this monster association. And apparently the strongest monsters haven't even fucking been used yet. And they're about to send someone to the stadium. So I guess this will be where the two arcs kind of collide. And also, apparently, Genos is, like, done. They took him out with whatever the fuck was coming towards him. Like, he's gone. So that's interesting.
Yeah, he's, like,
Typical
smashed into the
Genos.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess things are starting to come together. I know, like, near the end of this episode, I was just thinking to myself, like, what is this show, like... What is even going on right now? Like, what is this all? Is this building towards anything, or is this all like bullshit? I don't know, but
it's a little of both. It's building towards something, but it's also bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It all comes together. It's all about the monsters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stick around for that maybe then. But yeah, it was getting like a little bit losing my attention this episode, even though it was kind of funny the entire way through. But yeah.
Yeah, there are parts of it where it gets a little disjointed. Mm-hmm. I still enjoy it for what it is, though.
Yeah. All right, ready to move on to
No
frog monsters?
Sarazanmai! This has become one of my favorite shows of the season. Somehow.
Why does Kat like it
know.
more than the person who fucking locked it?
I don't know. I don't know why I get so psyched about this show now.
I don't know. It's a weird fucking show. This is the weirdest episode of this show so far, so I'm excited to talk
It's also
about
the least repetitive.
It is the least repetitive. You're right. It's almost like it follows all the same beats, but the characters are in a different form and they're in different places while those beats are happening. So yeah. Episode 6. I want to connect, so I'm not giving up. So this episode starts off all weird. Like I said, we're continuing on with the sachet thief from last episode because they failed to capture his desire. And so the guys are still in Kappa form because Kepi didn't turn them back. And Kazuki's just like eating a shit ton of cucumbers at the beginning of this episode.
He's stress eating cucumbers.
Yeah, it's weird. Like there's one point where like all the cucumbers like pop back out of his mouth and there's like a fucking 100 of them. And I was like, what the... Anyway, apparently the cucumbers are tastier to Kappas when they're in Kappa form and stuff. So
they're like Kappa crack. Does he basically have a problem?
Yeah, exactly. And Kazuki's little brother Haruka is still coming to terms with like the realization that his brother has been pretending to be Sarazanmai this entire time.
She says dishu at the end of all her sentences, doesn't she?
Dish.
Out of dish. And I'm just like, shut your whore mouth. Stop with that.
So then we get to this weird scene where Kazuki and Enta are doing something that can loosely be described as sumo wrestling. But
Sure.
But also could loosely be described as foreplay.
yeah, like really it's more Enta getting off on the fact that his sweaty ass and legs are in close contact with Kazuki's skin.
Kazuki, at this point, Enta's just like, please take me, please.
Yeah, pretty
Please
much.
take my Shirodama.
Amazingly, this actually isn't like a delusion of Enta's. That's what I expected, but like Kepi puts like a mousetrap to his finger to like prove to him, like, no, you're not like asleep or something.
No,
or
it's a
daydreaming.
trick stick of gum.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It was like a mousetrap. I don't know. And so yeah, I guess this actually was happening. And then the guys seem somewhat happy-go-lucky about their whole situation. They like end up walking to the place where Kazuki would always change his clothes to disguise himself as Sara. And Kepi is in the foreground of this scene. And he's like throwing some rings up around a pole.
Oh, this
and then
part.
he jumps up and then like impales himself on this pole, landing on top of those rings. And then the camera changes to a reverse shot with Toei in the foreground. And then in the background, fucking Kepi has like transformed into like a full human-sized person with a two-piece swimsuit and is pole dancing. And it's just like, he just says like, pole dance. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I saw that too, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Like, it was just like a total non sequitur. But it was
stuff like
hilarious. But
That makes it amazing.
I was like, why?
Exactly. I was like, what the? I'm like here watching the episode, like, I need to explain this to people who listen to my podcast.
And I was just sitting here like, yes!
So anyway, that happened. I can't really explain what it's supposed to mean. Probably nothing anyway.
It's not supposed to mean anything.
Yeah.
It's just supposed to be amazing.
It pretty much was. So Enta realizes that Kazuki is putting on a front when he won't accept his soccer pass and tries to take him to a good cucumber spot to like calm him down. I don't know what a good cucumber spot is. That sounds like a euphemism for a lot of other things.
Yeah.
However, Haruka is there, so Kazuki like runs away before like he gets seen. And Haruka, meanwhile, notices on like his phone that the Otter app has appeared, and one of the Otter cops, Reo, shows up, and Haruka tells him like he took away his brother's smile, and he wants to see his brother's smile again. And Reo kind of commiserates because his partner Mabu has disappeared as well. And he described him as like trying to act cool, but also as like a doll whose emotions have fallen out of him. So that's interesting.
It was actually very fascinating, that part of it.
Yeah, I'm still not clear on like the dynamic between the two of them, like whether they're like in love with each other or what.
I think they're lovers.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, because of like the themes in this episode where it's like desire versus love, I can't tell if he's upset that the other one has betrayed him by being in love with him instead of desiring him, because that's like what otters want, right?
Right. Well,
guess?
the whole thing they make clear this episode, like Reo even tells Haruka right now, is that the future is only going to exist for those who can connect their desires and not those who are in love with each other or something. Yeah, that they don't belong anywhere in the future that the otters want. So.
Yeah, something's going on there, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. So when Haruka like gets taken, Kepi turns into a phone, and he's kind of doing his best like Doppio from JoJo impression, where he's like, and it turns into a phone. He's like, hello, and then he informs the guys, like I guess somebody tells him that the Imperial Army or whatever have taken Haruka. And they're the ones who destroyed the Kappa Kingdom, and they were going to kill Haruka and turn him into a Kappa zombie. And at this point, Kazuki decides like to drop all pretenses and say, "Okay, I need to go save my little brother. Let's go do this." And so There is no like otter dance sequence in this episode, and it's just like the beginning of it happens sort of, but then it like cuts away. So this like is not the same format like Leo was saying.
Thank God.
And so, but instead, like Kepi takes the Kappas underwater. Like it explains to them how the otters like defeated the Kappas and then turned on humans. You see like all these like artsy like renditions of like the battles in the past between the Kappas and the otters. It's kind of cool. And they infiltrate like the otter hideout, which is what we usually see in the otter dance sequence, like with all the boxes and like machinery like going around and like scaffolding and stuff. And so Kazuki calls Haruka on his cell phone and he can hear it ringing, so that's how they're able to find like the one cardboard box that Haruka is in. And so Enta and Toei like sort of help Kazuki to like get past these gaps of like closing doors and like these things that he can't get past, and he gets to the box like but just too late, and like a mechanism drops the box into this like endless chasm before he can reach it, and he's like fuck. And so Kepi tells him like Haruka's dead unless you transplant your Shiriko Dama into him.
Your butt pearl.
Butt pearls.
Your butt transplant.
Yeah, we need a butt transplant. If he gives up his Shirikadama, though, he will no longer be able to connect to anyone in the world, and it'll be like he never existed. All events and memories connected with Kazuki would be completely undone. It's like what we've been seeing with the Kappa zombies in previous episodes, where when they disappear, like all knowledge of them sort of disappears from the world as well. So Kazuki realizes if he chooses to go this route that Haruka's accident would never have occurred, though. And so he's always felt guilty about that. So he asks Kepi to do it, and he starts being lowered into this pit on like a chain with a hook at the end. But Toei and Enta are like trying to convince him to stop, and they can't get to him in time. So Toei pulls a handgun out. Where the fuck he was keeping this handgun on his Kappa form, I have no idea.
In his ass!
No, they have little backpacks on that they can open up.
Wait, I didn't see a backpack.
No,
you mean like the shell thing? The like little shell?
That's
earlier in the
shell.
episode, one of the guys opens it up and he pulls out. I can't remember. He pulls out something.
You ruined it, Leo. I think it's more funny to imagine that they just have everything up their butt. That's like their purse.
Is it actual ass pull?
Yeah.
But yeah, that Leo's probably on target there. And so
I literally
Toei
watched
blows
it
up,
before
like-
we started recording.
Toei blows up the machinery that was like helping Kazuki descend into this
It's a
pit.
chain hoist.
Yeah, the hoist. Yeah, and so he comes flying back up, and like when he gets back up, Toei like punches him in the face and tells him, think of something else rather than just throwing your life away, basically. And so Enta also like jumps on him and shows him like the Misanga which Haruka had given back to him as proof that Haruka still believes in Kazuki and like wanted good things to happen for him. And so at this very moment, Haruka's box is being judged at the bottom of this chasm by like this system. And his feelings are judged.
Box is being judged.
I know. I thought I was the only one who thought that. I'm
It's
just
like-
imagining Haruka as a girl, just like with legs. A bunch of guys just looking.
But yeah, it's like if like there was like a package that was like going through like some sort of check, you know, like
Yeah.
a TSA check or
He's
whatever.
got a package and it has to be inspected.
Oh my
what you're
god!
saying?
Do you guys like? Oh, whatever. Like, there's so many like it's like, everything is so ridiculously surface level. You have to find like even more things to like make lewd. It's ridiculous. So his feelings are judged to be those of love rather than libido. It's funny that they call it libido in this one scene when they've been saying desire in every other place, but it's essentially the same thing. Or actually, it kind of gives us more information about how the show views desire. It's like a sexual desire. It's like a lust rather than
I
love.
actually saw this as like a continuation of like, you remember in Yuri on Ice with like they have the Eros and then the Agape?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like that, I think.
You're right. Yeah, like the pure love versus the like the dirty sexual love. You
The
know,
desire, yeah. Well, and both of them are like things that you want, but you can't have both at the same time. and they're both missing something that the
Sure.
other one has. So like they both are it's just interesting to see them use that in this way. We'll see where they go.
Yeah. So Haruka gets rejected because he's got feelings of love and gets sent flying back up. And then we see another short series of flashbacks where Haruka explains like why he was trying to run after Kazuki and make up with him. And like, in fact, Haruka had picked up that sachet that Kazuki's biological mother had dropped. And when he did, he told her to stay away from Kazuki and never come back. Basically because he was worried that she'd take his older brother away who he loved and he was trying to protect that relationship. And so that's why he felt that he had hurt Kazuki and like taken his smile away at the same time. So that finally makes sense. And so Haruka's box is taken by this crane away to be shredded because I guess otters hate fucking love.
They're like, oh, that's just trash.
Yeah, throw this trash away.
Throw it away.
And the guys aren't sure how to save him in time until Kepi is like, I volunteer my adorable body if you care to use it. And before he can even like finish saying the sentence, like Toei picks him up and like he's like a soccer ball now and like kicks him immediately to Enta. And Enta's like, oh, Kazuki, and should I pass to him? And Kazuki's like, yes, you need to pass to me. Pass right now. And so Enta finally gets to like connect with him through this pass. And then like Kazuki pulls off a pretty sweet bicycle kick and it kicks Kepi into Haruka, who grabs onto him and then becomes like a parachute and gets him to safety, basically. So like Haruka is like also narrating that Kazuki isn't alone, but is instead connected to a whole circle of people who care for him. And if this were any other normal episode, the Kappa Zamba... Oh, sorry. As if this was a normal episode, it then like immediately cuts to the Kappa Zombie being defeated. So it's like all this like internal stuff that was going on is almost like what would be happening at this moment in a normal episode when they're like flying up a Kappa Zombie's butt, I guess. Yep. But yeah, it cuts to the chase where like Kepi like eats like the pearl of desire and stuff. And yeah, so they've defeated that guy. And so like the police officers are all annoyed, they lost again. And Reo says like Kazuki helped him find some mysterious source of hope though. Like they show like a flash of something that looks like kind of like a cap. It's like pink eyes. I'm not sure what it is though on the screen.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, wasn't it surveillance footage of Kepi?
It may have been, yeah. They're like, Haruka helped him find it, though. So I suppose it must be Kepi, because Kepi is the key to all this. Like,
I wonder why he's the only one, though. That'll also be interesting.
Did he say he was a prince or something, or am I just imagining that?
I don't know if he said that, but he said that he was... What did he say? He's like the only one...
He's the only
who can
one
create
who can
dishes
make
of
the
hope.
dishes.
Yeah.
Like, that's left, yeah.
Yeah, dish.
Dish. Got a dish.
So Kepi turns everyone back into humans, and he's also like in like bandages because he's gotten kicked around like a soccer ball and like almost shredded and stuff like this entire time. And Kazuki smiles at the other guys and is like, "Thank you for being there for me." He also like mysteriously says like he feels like a completely different person now that like all of this burden has been lifted off his shoulders. But the episode ends though on this like mysterious flashback with the police officers where they come up against some dark enemy that like literally says like darkness as it like attacks them, and Mabu like dies, quote unquote, while protecting Reo and telling him not to let go of his desires, since the future only exists for those who have their desires. But it's also, there was a flashback roll before this sequence, so it seems like this is something that happened a while ago, so he didn't die. I don't know. We're gonna have to find out more next time. But yeah,
it will be interesting.
This was like a really goofy episode. There was lots of like slapstick stuff. Like there's one time like somebody lands on Enta and his Kappa eyes just go flying like like huge strings away from his face.
And his glasses stay on the whole time on where his pupils are.
And all the crazy shit with Kepi just bouncing all over the place this episode and becoming a parachute, becoming anything they needed at any given time was just very goofy.
The more I watch it, the more I love it. I don't know why.
It is definitely just very different from anything else going on right now, you know?
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Probably just because it's bizarre.
I'm kind of glad that they've sort of wrapped up this. I mean, they still need to talk to each other, but they've sort of wrapped up this arc between Kazuki and Haruka, and that they finally have sort of forgiven each other because they both did wrong in different ways to each other in the past, and hopefully they can have a more healthy relationship now. But yeah.
Yeah.
Carole Tuesday.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, episode 6.
This is the best show ever.
I love it too. It's so good. And Life is a Carnival with Carole Tuesday. Life is a Carnival. The title of this is a 1971 song by The Band, who are really good. You should listen to The Band if you haven't. They used to be like Bob Dylan's cover band, and then like sort of became their own big thing. So yeah, after Carole Tuesday's first performance at that small club went well last week, Gus tells them he's like scored them a gig at this thing called the Cydonia Festival, which is like a gigantic music festival. They would be in front of like 100,000 people. And when Tuesday hears this, she's just like faints into Carol's arms, and Carol's like, she looks at Gus and she's like, she broke. And like for like the rest of like, as I'm talking about what's going on, like for the next few minutes, Tuesday is just literally like passed out, like trying to recover while everybody else is talking. There are only backups. There's like no guarantee they're going to actually perform at the festival. It's only if this like guy Joshua, who is the lead singer of the band Omega, is unable to go on, which there's a very good chance of that because Joshua is this like metal guy and he's a fucking hellraiser. He's constantly causing trouble. He's notorious for canceling at the last minute, and he also has a really bad drinking problem. And so the music producer guy, like Hefner, had heard that like he was doing well. He had quit drinking. He was in rehab, so that's why he booked him. But he wants like insurance, and so he called Elizabeth, the club owner, and this was like right after Carole Tuesday's performance, I guess. So she put him on the phone with Gus and said like, "Hey, like this they have a good act here. Like Carole Tuesday could potentially stand in." So yeah. That night, the girls can't sleep, so they decide, like, again to try to write a new song to, like, please Omega's fans, which already is, like, a warning sign, because it's like, you can't just try to please somebody else's fans. Like, that's not what you are. That gets away from what you are as an artist, though, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea, though, was that I thought it was interesting that they bring this up, because, like, obviously usually they would never be able to get that spot even as a stand-in.
Yeah, it's true.
But they point out like whoever they get as a stand-in, all of those fans are going to hate them.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's a terrible way to debut is to be like, and now would they hate us? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so they end up trying to write like a rock song of some sort, but like they end up falling asleep before they finish writing it. And they also don't have enough time to like really rehearse before the performance. So a lot of bad signs going into this performance anyway. They hop on a train to the venue. There's like a little montage. They play a little bit on the train. And when they get off in the middle of the desert, they're like excited to see that a famous singer named Crystal is going to be performing there as well. And so Gus goes off to talk money with Hefner, and he warns the girls, like, stay away from Erdogan no matter what you do. And meanwhile, Roddy, who's working with Erdogan, is like in the trailer with him. And it's sort of like what I predicted a little bit, where Erdogan like is having an existential crisis wearing his like "Who am I" t-shirt and talking to a mirror. And he just like is having his whole conversation. He sort of like loses himself, and then he turns to Roddy, and Roddy's like, "No, you're like the best Erdogan you've ever been." And he's like, "Oh, that's who I am." And then he like leaves the trailer and he says like "fire" as he like leaves the trailer.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. He's such a caricature, but he goes out and starts like performing in front of this like ridiculous crowd. But then also Joshua shows up. But when he gets out of like his car, he's like super drunk. his fist is also bloody from having punched something, which they talked. He punches windows sometimes just because like they're too small. I don't know. Like it's ridiculous.
Doesn't he always seem to do things to his hotel room? Because they're like, yeah, he punched his like hotel room door once, and also another hotel room with the window. You think they'd just be like, no hotels for you?
Yeah. I think he would be blacklisted a lot of places, probably. Yeah. And his manager's like, oh no, he'll be fine. But Hefner like tells Gus like, nah, just get the girls ready. He doesn't look fine. So meanwhile, Ertegun leaves the stage and he almost hears the girls. And it's funny, he like refers to them as ominous. He's like, I thought I heard those ominous girls. And they like run away, but to avoid him, they have to go into this random trailer. And in there is this performer named Skip.
Hell yeah.
And he's this. Yeah. Oh, what about him, Leo?
No, he's just his performance is awesome.
Oh yeah, so it's so interesting though, because he's like this pretty jacked like black guy with like a super low voice, and the girls are intimidated by him as he tells them that like he recognizes them from their video, and they're like kind of scared. But then he seems to be pretty nice because he tells them like all musicians start out trying to sound like a certain way, like searching for like a unique sound. But then once they get a little bit of fame and notoriety, they start to lose that unique sound over time. And he tells them, like, you girls still have it for now. Don't ever forget it. And I think that was pretty cool. That tells us, like, a lot about, like, his character and, like, what he stands for in a very short period of time. And it's also, like, very true to life. There's a lot of bands who have, like, one great record, and then they get famous, and then they never make anything interesting again. So, yeah. Skip passes Crystal on his way to the stage. And she's like on good terms with him, and he tells her like stick around for the first song because it's her song.
This is really cool because it's like a whole nother story between these two characters.
Yeah, that you don't know. But I feel like this is something that she's done before for him. Almost like it's a tradition that like she always goes to listen to his song.
Yeah,
he sings that song.
I feel like they have. It's some sort of romantic relationship. I don't know if they're together or they used to be together.
It sounds like they used to be together, and
that's
like
what I
for whatever
thought.
reason, possibly due to fame, it's kind of driven them apart for now.
Yeah,
or forever.
And so Skip is like a really interesting performer. He plays like a 6-string bass guitar.
Oh yeah.
And he's got this like he's doing this like laid back like improvised riff, and then like a accompanying like violin joins in with this like electric piano in the background. And when he starts singing, I was really stunned though, because
I know.
Yeah.
It's so different from his like this was the first time I really got thrown for a loop, because he's singing in this like high falsetto voice, and the singer's voice does not sound very much like the voice actor at all. And so I was like, this is a little weird. There was a little bit of a disconnect there for me. But once I got over that, I was like, man, this is like a really cool song.
Yes.
I really
it's
like
very
this.
cool, but I just never expected, first of all, his voice to be that high. And second of all, for him to be singing that kind of song. Because they kind of set it up like, I'm this badass guy and I've got piercings and like,
yeah.
I'm gonna
I think that was part of the appeal, was like kind of the shock when you're like, oh, you're going to do this kind of song. Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of does hit you there. I appreciated that.
Yeah, his bass playing reminded me of an artist named like Victor Wooten, who's like a phenomenal bass player. But then like his singing reminded me of like, I don't know, like John Legend or something. And I was like, this is so weird. It's like cool combination. So yeah, the song's a pretty cool groove. And so as for what Skip said to Crystal, like the song is all about unrequited love and the one that got away from him.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can assume he wrote this song about her after they broke up.
Yep.
For whatever reason.
Yep.
And so Joshua is still freaking out. He's like hallucinating about like a beetle that's coming for him. So yeah, he's fucking lost it. So Carole and Tuesday get ready to go on stage, and Tuesday's freaking out. So Carole goes to grab her some water from like a table, and after she gives it to her, she sees the label on the bottle says "For Joshua Only." I think we can assume there was some alcohol in there.
Assuming. Because I mean, it's not called Liquid Courage for no reason, you know.
And yeah, Tuesday's demeanor completely changes. She like sprints out on the stage, like all excited, and like forgets her nerves. And So yeah, the girls begin to play like a remixed live version of the Dancing Laundry song.
My least favorite song of theirs.
Yeah.
Which I think is saying something because it's still pretty good. I do like the remixed version a little bit better.
It's just a little cheesy. But yeah.
I watched this episode for a second time today just before we recorded, and I did like the performance a little bit more this time, but like the way I came away from it was it's not supposed to sound that great, this performance, because they're live, they've under rehearsed, their voices are a little bit off key for much of the song. And they're also scared. They're singing scared because people are literally throwing garbage at them because they're like, oh, it's not Omega. What the fuck? Like, nobody told us this would be like these two little girls. We're like metal fans. Like, we don't want to hear this. And so, yeah, it does not go well. And so, as in the middle of their performance, the stage lighting just suddenly changes, and Joshua arrives on stage and starts screaming the opening lyrics to one of his.
I was so pissed for the girls when that happened.
I know. It's like you couldn't even show up, and now you're gonna do it. Like,
it's so shitty. But I'm sure like this has happened to people before. But like, of course, you would never ever agree to like like open for somebody if they ever did this to you.
Right.
But it's really shitty. So they go off the backstage, and Tuesday starts crying, and Carole like holds her and hugs her. And then Crystal shows up, and she tells them like it was like a wonderful performance.
Is so fucking hot. Holy shit!
She's also like very kind in this. It's interesting.
She is really kind, which I did not expect. I thought she would be kind of bitchy or something because
that's usually the stereotype.
Yeah, she's a big deal. It seems like.
But Skip could never love a woman who was a bitch.
That's true. Like you're so right. Like the connection she has with Skip, like kind of leads me to believe that like she is like a really good person. But for whatever reason, that just didn't work between them.
As briefly as I learned about each of their personalities, I am 100% convinced that you could tell me they had some type of a romantic relationship in the past, and I would go, I believe that 100%. Yes.
Yeah. She tells like the girls like she thought it was brilliant how they stood their ground in front of a hostile crowd, and that even if it was only a few people, like she's sure that their song reached some of them because like she's gonna remember them. And so the girls, after they get a hug from her, and then like after this happens, like Gus and Roddy come up like expecting them to be super depressed, and the girls are just like, oh my god, we just got hugged by Crystal.
Yeah, they're like, you could have said, what about your performance? They'd be like, what performance? We got hugged by Crystal. It doesn't matter.
So that's good. So that it turned out somewhat well for them. And then it's finally Crystal's turn to go out and perform. She's like last up. And she sings this like slow R&B song in like a very kind of Ariana Grande style voice, I thought. And she sounded great. She also had this like crazy visual effect thing going on where like these like white birds start flying around the stage as she sings, and like one lands on her at the end of her song, and like clearly she is like the real fucking deal.
Yeah, but what was her song about? It was about,
I think it was about being unbroken. I think that was the
I thought
the lyric.
to me, what was coming across was that she was still in love with Skip.
It's possible, yeah.
That's how I interpreted her song.
I don't know, like, I'm sure we're gonna find out like what went down between them, but I'm curious to like speculate like whether her management told her like she couldn't associate with this guy, or whether it was some weird thing, or maybe she felt that Skip lost his sound and that's why he tells the girls not to like forget who they are. I don't know, but he doesn't seem like a guy who's like lost his initial sound. No. He seems like a really unique performer, so I don't think that's it.
Yeah, it is odd.
But it's cool that like a festival concert like this like opened up so many new characters. Like even Joshua is just like a fucking ridiculous character like to introduce, and like somebody I would like sort of like to know more about. But for an introduction for Crystal and Skip, this was great.
As I mean, this show goes on, you just love it more and more and more. Like,
I've also been on
bad about
I've also been on YouTube multiple times listening to all the songs over and over.
Oh yeah, I think the from our Discord. Who was it? Blue Caleb got to mention in our Discord that like the OP and ED got added to Spotify as well. So I added those to a playlist.
I also put in our Discord. There's a like a live version of like the two singers actually performing the song for the OP.
Oh yeah. The music video.
Yeah, I put that in there too. So it's really cool to see them actually performing it, the real live flesh and blood. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. And it is a white girl and a black girl.
Yeah, so, which is more authentic to how they would actually sound. So I like that too, yeah. All right. Anything else about this episode?
No, I think that's it. But it's just, I don't know. Like, the way that they set up the episodes is very... It's just so... I don't know. There's not a lot of shows where every episode you come away going, yeah, that was really fun to watch.
Yeah, that's true.
I fully intend to watch this a second time when the dub comes out, and I never do that.
Yeah, I so rarely do that. No, it's a fun thing to do with Netflix shows because it's a good way of going back and actually watching them when you're supposed to watch them at the end of the day.
Oh, but I never. I mean, I could give a shit about the dub usually.
Usually,
so that tells me something about this show.
Yeah, the dub will be really interesting for this for sure.
I would expect them to keep the same. People who are singing the same, that audio exactly the same though. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Shall we move into mid-season cuts?
Da-na-na! Was it dramatic enough?
What?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's time to make any mid-season cuts if we feel like we want to replace any of the shows we're currently watching right now. As a reminder, locked shows can only be cut by the person who locked them. Of course, other people can try to convince them to drop things, but any other show just requires like 2-person majority to be cut and replaced with something. So before we get into things that we might want to cut, why don't we talk about other things we've been watching that could potentially be replacements? So I think we've all been watching Hitori Bochi on the side, right?
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Yes. Well, I'm not as ahead of you guys as you guys are, but I watched.
Yeah, I am caught up on it. Yeah, I haven't. Oh, darn. Okay, episode 9 is out, but I have not watched it yet.
Yeah, I think I've watched like 8 episodes as well, and I'm still liking it. Like, I think it's really cute. I kind of like the ninja girl. She's fun.
She's awesome.
I liked the girl who was like this class president with like the black hair with the short bowl cut. I don't know what her name is.
The ninja girl had the really good episode where she was kind of lonely because she lived by herself, but then they all cheered her up. That was a pretty interesting, touching episode. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was nice. I don't know. Like, Bochi starts to get on my nerves sometimes, but she like balances it out by being like freaking adorable and hilarious. So I'm like 50-50 on Bochi as like the main character. Like, I sometimes like her, but sometimes she's just like way too much for me, and it's just like, stop. But I think that's the point, obviously.
Yeah. What else have you watched?
I watched a bunch of Ao-chan Can't Study. I've been keeping up with that.
That's adorable.
It's
love that show.
Fucking funny. I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for people who like can't find humor in it because like I'm constantly laughing at it. It hasn't like really moved on like narratively crazily or anything. It's just like the same general, like the girl is like falling in love with the guy more and more and getting into looter and looter situations, and it's fun. It's just good fun, and it's short, so it's like easy to get into. But like with that and Hitori Bochi, I just feel like sort of with both of them, there's like not a ton of stuff to talk about. Hitori Bochi kind of goes how you would expect. Like, she meets a new girl, she's wacky. The new girl is wacky in some weird way, and Hitori Bochi somehow becomes her friend. It's like the same thing. One thing that's really exciting and interesting is Senko-san. No,
sure.
They introduced a fox girl with white hair named Shiro, who's somehow even sluttier than the first girl. Well,
isn't she even younger looking?
I mean, I think it's up to your opinion.
You're not talking about the. We're talking about
Yeah.
You tricked me because
I
I
did.
thought you were talking about that dumb poetry thing. for a
Oh,
second.
no, not that one. Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I have been watching more of that Senryo shoujo, but I'm kind of just bored with that, honestly. It's really cute, but it's not doing anything very interesting for me, so it's
Okay.
nice fluff. But yeah.
Yes, for the Fox anime. I am also watching this. Yes, the white girl is sluttier. But like she's just like another, you know how some guys like the hard to get girl who's like a bitch?
Yeah.
Like that's what she's there for. The main attraction still is there's this girl, you come home every fucking night, she's made you food. And she's like,
But
"You
she's a
had
lolly."
hard day." I don't give a shit if she's a lolly. That's not what I'm in this for. I'm in this for the wife porn. Clearly, I never knew I needed a wife this badly. I needed to find a woman to put into this very stereotypical gender role for myself. Like a disgusting human being.
Well, it's funny, like, once those three sort of get settled in, like, whenever they're together now, like, the guy and Senko act as, like, the mom and dad to Shiro, who is, like, their little, like, precocious daughter type of character.
They're a little spoiled brat.
the spoiled brat of a
basically.
daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
The episode that went a bit over the top for me was the bath episode where Senko was, like, naked the entire time.
Oh, wow.
That was a little too much. But yeah, it's still fun to watch and laugh at this show every week for being
Clearly,
as ridiculous
they
as it
just
is.
need to make more of these, but like with adult women.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
That I would definitely be on board with.
I want like a million of these. Like as many of these stupid, weird, like lolly shows, they can like cut that in half, give us some really good stuff, and still have their like half as many lolly shows.
Pretty much, yeah.
So.
I've also been watching Isekai Quartet. I'm bored as fuck.
Why?
It's
are you
not
doing
good.
it?
I've just been kept keeping up with it, and like occasionally they will make a good joke here and there, but it's just like it's bonkers to me how little, how very rarely that actually happens. Like especially with like all of the material they have to work with, that they just like have not come up with anything. It feels like a case where they are saving all of their actually good jokes for further seasons of these shows rather than wasting them here. Like why would they waste a good joke between like the ReZero characters when we're going to get a season 2 next year most likely? Like so it sucks. It's really
Do you
sucks.
think it's too late for ReZero season 2 though?
It's getting there. It's almost approaching Attack on Titan time, but
Yeah.
it is nice that they've had this Isekai Quartet thing to at least remind people that like
It's a thing.
Ram-
It exists.
they exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A show started airing. It's a 2-minute show. I think it's 2 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, called Miru Tights.
All right, tell me what the fuck this is, because I saw this on your list and I was like, what the actual fresh hell is this? Okay.
So, Kat, imagine a Japanese teenage schoolgirl.
Imagine a city where it's named A, and there's these girls.
Fucking bitch! Shut your mouth, Leo! Shut your whore mouth!
No.
Bcom, tell me what it is.
Imagine that this Japanese schoolgirl is wearing a skirt and a uniform and black stockings.
Is this a fetish anime
Oh,
about
yeah.
tights?
Yeah, it is.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
It is 100,000% a fetish anime about girls' legs and feet in stockings and upskirt shots of them in stockings.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Like in the first episode, like one of the girls' like stockings get wet in the rain, and she gets to school and she's like wringing them out, and she has to like slowly take her stockings off, revealing her legs. It like in like I think the most recent episode, the girls are like piled on top of each other in the locker room. It's just like one huge mass of like panties and stockings and butts flying everywhere. It is just
Flying everywhere.
It is just like a perfect fetish show. It is really good. For anybody who enjoyed legs and feet in SSSS Gridman, you should be fucking watching Miru Tights and having fun with it. Yeah.
You know, they did do a study of the most common fetishes, and they found that feet is the most common one, which is weird to me.
This is
That's
just,
weird
it's
to
such
me,
an
too.
interesting fetish, which for a very long time I didn't understand, and then Gridman aired. So you could say I have a fetish for anime feet, at least, if not real ones. But yeah, and the last show I've sort of kept up with, I've watched like 3.5 episodes. Is Kono Oto Tomare, The Sounds of Life, the one about playing koto. I got really turned off by the 3rd episode because they go to see this performance of a bunch of kids who are in like the main girls' koto school playing like a piece, and like the girls like, oh, we're gonna play this piece to impress like the principal and like have him allow us to remain a club and not just like a joke. But like, so they go to see this piece and they're supposed to be like really impressed by it. And like, they don't even show the kids playing at all. It's just like the music and like a still image of the kids like supposedly playing the kotos.
Well, but they have a limited budget. And for shows like this, you have to, like, it probably would have taken a lot of their budget to animate it. You do have to think about that.
But even with shows like Your Lie in April, where like they had limited amounts of time where they showed people playing piano and violin, like they still showed them when they had to, when they had those big moments.
Well, but Your Lie in April was a really popular show.
Well, yeah, but how did they know that before they started making it, you know?
I still think they kind of know sometimes what they
have on their hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean this show
sometimes
is getting
don't.
2 seasons. Like it's getting like a split course, so they've invested in 24 episodes of this show. I don't know. I've heard that I'm going to keep watching because I've heard people who are caught up to it right now are saying that it's gotten better. So I'm optimistic about the future of this show, hopefully, but right now I'm just like, ugh.
I mean, they also invested like 1 billion episodes in Guts and that CG nightmare.
That's a good point.
That was bad.
That doesn't
So
mean
bad.
anything. So,
You guys been keeping up with any other shows?
oh yeah. So I watched We Never Learn Boku, whatever the fuck. It's the slutty harem show of the season. I always have to watch it. I'm in it for the girls. I gotta get those girls.
I'm watching it too, but like I've only watched 4 episodes. I don't know if I'll end up watching more.
That girl's tan lines are as nice as they seemed. That's all I want to say. It's mostly just slutty harem shit.
Okay.
But it's good. It's decent quality harem shit.
That's fair.
Midnight Occult Servants, the animation quality is not great, but the story is okay. I'd say like it's okay. You might want to watch it. It's not anything like amazing. So, that's most of the stuff that I've been really into.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been watching Wise Man's Grandchild.
How's that?
How are you watching that trash? I tried.
I don't know. I
could not
I
do
really
it.
find it interesting for some reason. I think because I just pretend I'm the main character, so
I gave up when like the fight with the main guy happened in like episode 4, and I was just like, "This is dumb."
with
If that's what they're gonna pull out,
with
I'm
the
out.
student or the teacher.
With the teacher.
Okay,
And
you're still really early.
Well, but like the way they did it was so dumb. I was like, "No, I'm out." Like I tried.
The main character is just so OP. That's the thing. He basically just one punch man on him and destroyed him. Another show is Fairy Gone.
You're still watching that?
So is Kat, apparently.
I am. I'm way behind on it.
It got really
I'm
political,
dedicated.
and like I have a really better understanding of this world now. So that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you hated politics, like our political shows.
I usually do, but like Attack on Titan last season kind of won me over on that, and this one, because I'm also learning of this world and it's just so different that I'm going with it for some reason. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
He likes it because we don't like it, Bcom. It's like his emo stand.
I'm still keeping up with Black Clover, of course.
Yes!
Oh my god.
It's so popular now, and all of you all were like, it's shit, and we're going to shit on it.
Oh, be quiet. We've heard you say this 100 times, Kat.
I'm just saying. I told you all then, and you all were like, that's dumb. It's not going to be popular, and now it is. And now you can all eat shit and die.
My last one, which I am unfortunately only seen 4 episodes of, and I will definitely be catching up on, is Robi Hachi, because it's just goofy fun. And it reminds me so much of like Space Dandy, and I really like Space Dandy. So
yeah.
That's it.
What if any shows that we are currently covering would you potentially think about dropping?
Definitely Sarazanmai.
So I will say I came into episode 6 of Sarazanmai very open-minded about dropping it, because one of the reasons was as much as I feel like the interactions that are happening are interesting, like, and that like the narrative arcs of the individual characters are kind of intriguing. I thought it was just like really formulaic, which is a very Ikuhara thing, but I was kind of getting tired of the formula of every episode. But then we got episode 6, which didn't follow the formula necessarily. So I was like, okay, they're doing something different finally.
I still love it.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I liked episode 6 because it was so goofy, it was so different, and it finished the damn Kazuki and Haruka arc, which I just really did not care about very much.
Well, if you replace it, I would recommend Hitori Bochi.
I know that if you replace it, you guys are going to replace it with that because you both are in love with it. And you know what? It's okay if you do that. It's okay because I will cope in the way that I cope best.
I guess the second show I would potentially replace is One Punch Man season 2, but I feel like we're all watching the show to go down with the ship anyway, as we said at the beginning of the season.
I will go down with this ship.
And honestly, the show has been more enjoyable to me than I thought it would be after like the first 2 episodes.
I think once I adjusted to the animation and it being a different studio, I was pretty much okay with it after that point.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't mind dropping it. It's not my favorite show I've ever covered, but I don't hate it either. So,
and also I know what's coming up, so like I'm still kind of excited because I know
there's fun things
going to do some other cool stuff. So
the poor animation still bugs me, but it's funny enough that I am enjoying watching it week to week. The only other one I would like potentially think about dropping is Fruits Basket, but I like it too much.
How dare you even suggest? I will whoop your ass.
I'm obviously not dropping Carole because it's like the best show ever. I'm not dropping Attack on Titan because it's fucking amazing. And like Dororo, we've come this far. Can't drop it now.
No,
and Demon Slayer's been good as well.
It's recovered after its stumble in like episode 15 or 16. So
yeah, for sure. I think it was 15. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so really, I think the only thing to do is just decide whether or not you're dropping Sarazanmai.
Yeah, which for Bocchi, I don't think I'm going to. It's just Bocchi is good. It's just not. It doesn't hook me like Mitsuboshi Colors did. It's also a very formulaic show, which was my complaint about Sarazanmai.
And I so thought you were going to go Miru tights. That's
it's too short. I mean, like, man, you
every time it just be, and then there were more tights, and it was sexy,
and they were flying through the air.
Look, trust me, I could find ways to talk for 20 minutes about a 4-minute episode about girls in tights. Trust me. But,
I don't doubt it.
Look, I will keep people posted on Miru tights. Don't worry. It'll be on my mind for a while. But no, that's not something I could replace it with. I don't know. I would consider maybe Ao-chan Can't Study, but even then, like, Sarazanmai is just like, as much as it's like a weird show, and I don't know if I like it at times, it's so much more interesting than almost anything else airing. That, like,
yeah, see, if you had switched to Hitori Bochi, I just would have switched to Sarazanmai.
Is that something we could do? I didn't even. That would have been like a first.
No. You don't get to actively
No.
change
I'm
your
saying
mind.
like I don't even know if that's like was that against the rules. That's like a very I don't know. That's true. Can like somebody save something that's been dropped by somebody who locked it? I don't know.
I mean, sure you can.
I guess if you drop your own lock, yeah, I guess that could potentially happen. Oh man.
Oh no, what is going on here?
But anyway,
Leo's like, no.
we don't need to do that though. I mean, it would be the same as just dropping One Punch Man for Hitori Bochi at that point. But
Yeah.
I think we're good where we are. I'm sad to say that we're not replacing another show this season, but fuck, we're just so good at picking them, guys. You know, we're just so smart. So
Really, it's just there's not that many good things on.
yeah, it comes down to that. Like Hitori Bochi is on the edge there, but
we came in this season knowing it was a little short, so
Actually,
Not too
at the very
surprising.
beginning, I was excited, and then I realized slowly that it really was actually pretty shit. And I was like, oh.
luckily the shows we do have are pretty damn high quality. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes you don't need a bunch of amazing. You just need a few good ones.
I literally only need Carole Tuesday. Well, and maybe Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan's been great.
Well, because sometimes I think they have these seasons where there's so many really good ones, it's almost unfair. I prefer seasons where like there's some good ones and then the rest are okay to seasons where you can't even cover all the good shit.
True.
I feel like I definitely need Attack on Titan, Carole Tuesday, and Demon Slayer, and the rest I could probably easily live without, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I am still really loving JoJo, though. So
It is fun.
it's a really fun show. I'm also, because I have not seen the first season, watching that on Netflix, so I'm getting a double
Nice.
dose of JoJo.
Yeah, I am 30 episodes into part 4 at the moment too. Like basically the same distance we are into part 5. I'm gonna be finishing that soon. Part 4, man, part 4 is really good.
So you're up around Killer Queen?
Yes, yeah, he's been
Yeah.
introduced. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, it's fucking great. There's an episode of part 4 where they just go to an Italian restaurant and this guy has a stand where he like cooks shit that just like
Oh,
heals
yeah.
you, like literally heals you. And it's like all sinister at first and you think like they're gonna die, but actually like no, he like just makes really good food that like heals people. And I was
remember
so
that.
happy. It was the best episode. Oh man.
Is that it?
Anyway, that's a lot. That's enough JoJo. We should close out this podcast.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for listening. And I live in City K. What the fuck, you guys? You assholes.
You're welcome.
Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube to get updates on new podcasts or videos. You can also find our podcast on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, whatever you use. It's on there. You can follow us on Twitter at Nerdom and Other for updates as well. Come hang out in our Discord with the link in the description. Seriously, our Discord's fun. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Later.